individual in China.
Comedian,
yeah. Instagram little thoughty thought. His name is Tao.
Huang Zitao.
Exactly. And Huang Zitao was part of the famous K-pop group EXO. And Tao was recently in a very big controversy that starts making rounds internationally. This guy is going global. F1, Formula One was set to be in Shanghai. Event coordinators decide, you know what? Right before we watch all these people race around in fast cars, super fast, super dangerous, why don't we throw a massive music festival here? A huge concert. We're going to bring in celebrities from all around the world, including ones from China. They're going to stay in China because it's in Shanghai. You get it. We're going to bring in other celebrities. It's going to be a big fucking deal. Tao was chosen to be one of the Chinese artists. He goes on stage and he gives a very confusing rant on stage. Like, imagine you're at a concert, you're bumping to the music, and all of a sudden, one of the main acts screams into the microphone, "I respect everyone."
I told you about this one.
And then you're like, okay, same. Okay, that's a little random and weird right now, but like, me too. Respect everyone. Woo! Everyone who cooperates. Okay, it's getting a little creepy now. It's fine for not showing up to rehearsal.
Huh?
Everyone's like, wait, who is he talking to? I can manage that myself. It's fine not to perform together on stage either. I respect the organization on this one, and I respect every audience member here. Thank you. I'm standing here myself, though, because I will just embrace this awkwardness. I want to thank everyone for coming. Thank you all, honestly. Who he is has nothing to do with me because I don't even know him. I don't even fucking care, motherfucker.
说实话，他是谁跟我一点关系都没有，因为我本身就不认识。I don't care, motherfucker.
Woo!
What the just happened? Okay, you just kind of killed the vibe, sir. Something is obviously going on. This is such a bold statement. He's saying some shit went down. People check his social media page, and Tao, one of the biggest artists in China, starts live streaming backstage, pissed off. He suddenly went on stage. I had to wait for him until 8 p.m. and he said he wasn't willing to perform a song with me because he didn't have a rehearsal the night before. Who are you fooling right now? I did not get any respect. Do you know what I'm talking about right now? Everyone's like, no.
No.
If I do not perform with him, what was the meaning for me to even be here? I was told that I was going to perform with him, and that's why I should show up to this concert. I was called because we were told to perform together for 5 minutes. What is the point if he shows up an hour later? Don't want to be on the same stage with me? But playing my song? He's playing my song on stage without me. Listen, do you hear that right now? He's backstage. He's like, do you hear that? That's my voice. That's my voice. He said, it's the first time in my life. I'm 30 years old. I debuted for 13 years and I've never seen this shit before.
自己听，这是我的声音，这是我的人生。我出道13年了，我没见过这种事情。
So he's basically just ranting that he was supposed to go on stage with another artist. They were going to collab for 5 minutes, but then he shows up an hour late. So he's like, I have no other songs to perform because of copyright issues. So this is just really awkward. I don't know what to do.
So he's ranting about the other artists.
And he's saying like, this is really rude. And a lot of people from the get-go, like face value, they're thinking, you know, because this has happened before. This has happened multiple times before where people really underestimate the power of Chinese celebrities. Like I guess maybe sometimes they're not as globally known as like Taylor Swift. So they're like, okay, they must be nobody. And then sometimes there's maybe some inherent racism. So a lot of people are backing up Tao. They're asking, are we really in 2024 looking down on Asian celebrities because they're Asian? Who the f*** is this messed up artist in question? Cancel him right now. He must be a very shit... Martin Garrix is the artist in question. One of the world's most famous DJs. Also, one of the world's most notably chill, down-to-earth celebrities. He's not even wholesome and like, I'm so down-to-earth. Look at me petting this dog. Like, he's not one of he's literally like so down-to-earth. He's not even trying to be relatable. He's just chilling. He's just DJing, going home. DJing, going home. Never in drama. Just a nice, humble guy. Immediately, everyone is like, wait, that doesn't sound like something he would do. It doesn't sound like Martin Garrix. Turns out, it's not. It was the event organizer's fault. Martin was never supposed to be at the rehearsal. He didn't skip it because everybody else was too small for him. He didn't know what was going on. He was only told what he was supposed to do. He didn't even know that Tao was waiting on him.
And our blunt boy Tao.
Yeah. went on a whole tangent. He was in the toilet.
Who's in the toilet?
Like Tao apparently went into the bathroom. He refused to come out of the bathroom at one point. He just threw a whole tantrum. Turns out it was just event misorganization. Martin Garrix had to do a formal apology for something he didn't even do wrong.
I'm sitting there like, what am I doing? So I leave the stage. It's just awkward.
Martin Garrix is a nice person. Tao is quite a dramatic person. The organizers are the fucked up ones. So Tao has to post an apology for his outburst. He says, regarding my inappropriate remarks during that performance, I sincerely apologize to the organizers, sponsors, and all the audience members. As a public figure, my words and actions set a poor example and have had quite a negative impact. I will take this as lesson learned, accept criticism and supervision from everyone, and ensure that these incidents do not happen again. Once again, thank you all for coming tonight. Good night, everyone. He could have just left it at that. But a few minutes later, something compels this man, Tao, to go into the comment section of his own apology and comment, I'm only apologizing for cursing on stage. I'm not apologizing for anything else. I'm not taking anything back, even though I'm apologizing. Just so you know. And then he leaves, meaning he still has one-sided beef with one of the nicest DJs over a misunderstanding. And that made everyone around the world, including myself, because I was on these Reddit threads, and they were like, wait a minute, who the is Tao? And this is the rabbit hole. This is the rabbit hole. So before we get started, quick little therapy is in session because I have a confession to make. For the past few days, I've been up until 3 a.m. and I don't even want to tell you what I've been doing. I'm going to tell you. I have been reading some spicy supernatural books because it's fall season, and I was like, what could be better than some pumpkin flavored drinks and some smut? If I was on a plane right now, I cannot be reading this book. That book needs to be cleansed. There's no way I can read this on the plane unless I get an e-reader. But you know what is a hassle? When you land at your destination, you're ready to have a good time, but guess what? You cannot have a good time without an eSIM. Having an eSIM like Saley, an eSIM, if you don't know, is a digital version of the physical SIM card that you buy at the airport to activate a cellular and internet plan in a foreign country. Except instead of having to buy a physical SIM card, an eSIM you can just download onto your phone. All you need to do is go to the Saley's website, download one of their eSIM plans, and you'll have internet coverage in over 150 countries. You never have to wait in long lines at the airport while you're constipated, or if you're in a rush to shower at the hotel ever again. Because Saley, once you download it one time and activate it wherever and whenever you need it, you don't have to stress about buying these SIM cards from the booth at the airport that has a long line, or those shady people on the side that's like, hey, you want to buy a SIM? And you're like, I feel like you're going to hack my phone. Or even worry about roaming fees because Saley will significantly reduce your fees. Which, by the way, I think I have free roaming on my phone. Or I think a lot of cellular networks, they do free roaming these days. That's what they say until you go to said country and you're like, why is this page taking 10 minutes to load? I'm about to get kidnapped. Somebody needs to help me. My maps aren't updating. I just walked in the wrong direction for 20 minutes straight. So with Saley, it's compatible for iOS and Android. And if for whatever reason it doesn't work on your phone, they will give you a full refund. You have nothing to lose and honestly so much to gain. Go to Saley.com/BIS and use the code BIS to get an exclusive 15% off your first purchase. Go to Saley.com/BIS and use the code BIS to get an exclusive 15% off your first purchase. Thank you, Saley, for sponsoring today's video. And let's get into the crazy life of Tao. It all starts coming apart August 4th, 2015. This is when people really start realizing, wait, who are we dealing with right now? Who the fork is Tao as a person? There was this media interviewer, very famous person who writes on his Weibo, which is like a Chinese X account. In my nearly 5-year career, I have interviewed many celebrities in the industry. There have been stars like Huang Xiaoming, Angelababy's husband, ex-husband, Huang Bo, A-list actor, who are all very kind, very attentive, very approachable. However, recently, I encountered a young heartthrob. Let's call him H. His last name starts with H, who just returned to China to start his career over. It is basically a newcomer here, but he dare 刷大牌.
刷大牌
more than the other A-list celebrities. So I'm like, sir, what does that mean? Okay. Basically, 刷大牌 means pulling out the big card. Pulling out the I'm a celebrity card. This is when you get pulled over for driving and you go, sir, do you know who I am? And then they're like, who are you, Justin Timberlake? Wait, no, literally that's what happened apparently. Apparently the cop was too young and did not know Justin Timberlake. It's that pulling out the, I'm sorry, do you know who I am? Card. They're like, he's whipping this out more than I've seen other A-listers whip it out. So, I mean, what has gone on in this man's mind? People start asking questions of like, okay, well, what exactly happened? And they start explaining a little bit. Like, things start coming out, not by this celebrity, but by people who allegedly work with the celebrity, who are on this team, production team. Like, things start slivering out of the woodworks. And they say, okay, so there's this handsome young man, a celebrity. Even setting up the interview process was really annoying. The publicity team kept calling us being like, we're very popular. Everybody wants to do an interview with us, and we agreed to do it with you. Like, you should feel lucky. You should do everything in your power to keep this interview with our talent. The production team were kind of confused, like, what's with the attitude? We interview top celebrities. You're not even one of them, so like, what's the big deal? The team comes back and says, our first interview, his first interview after returning to China cannot be done at some random backstage event. There must be a studio set up for them. So they set up a little studio. Interview time comes around, 4:30 p.m. The talent comes in like 30 minutes late, half hour late, no makeup on. They were under the impression that he was going to come on time, hair and makeup ready, so that they can sit down, do the interview, and leave, because so many people are now waiting for him. So they have to wait for him to get his hair and makeup done. That's another hour that they sit there waiting. Time is money for these production teams. One of the staff on the side, because I'm sure things are tense, like everybody knows he's late, everybody's trying to be nice, but also give him like the, hey, can you hurry at the up energy? One of the staff members just blurted out like, wow, you're so handsome, you kind of look like Hwang Bo, which is a very famous celebrity. Very famous celebrity.
Talented.
Very talented.
Very beloved.
I know nothing about him, so I'm just repeating what he's saying. Don't shoot the messenger.
Literally one of the goats.
How would you describe him? Who is like the American?
Well, I don't know American actors like that.
Oh, but you know Hwang Bo.
Hwang Bo, yes.
Yeah, Hwang Bo.
He's in the same league as
Jay Chou.
No. I wouldn't go there. Same league as Wang Baoqiang. The one we talked about, that the wife is Ma Rong.
Yes.
So they're in the same league.
Yes.
Not the most handsome, but very, very much talented. Their charisma, their skill and talent, all of it. The level of professionalism makes up for their appearances.
He said it, not me. Like, he's famous for his talent and his personality
He's an
versus
actor, true
his
actor.
conventional looks.
Yes.
Like, his acting is Oscar winning. Okay?
Yes.
That's what you're telling me.
Yes.
Right. That's a compliment then, because you're saying you look like one of the goats. The whole team stops. They spin around. How does he look like Hwang Bo? The people around them are like, whoa, wait. That was just like a passing comment. This is weird. This is like weird energy. Why are you guys getting all riled up? Anyway, his team are very unhappy about this. And they're like, you know what? Because you said that, we're actually going to spend another 40 minutes fixing his hair, because you just said he looks like Hwang Bo. And we don't want him to have the same hair as Hwang Bo. So they fix his hair. And now at this point, the interviewer, the celebrity, has been waiting over 2 hours to do this interview. But he's a professional. He doesn't get upset. He doesn't let it get in his way. He sits there, he does the interview, and then he leaves. This comes up in 2015, and I don't know why they did it like this. The interviewer decides he's going to give us some clues. So he posts like a black shadow of the celebrity that he's talking about in this. He says his first name starts with an H, and also here's his side profile, right? It kind of looks like a rooster, first of all. Like, why does it look like a chicken? It's the side profile, the hair is going up, it looks like it's about to cock-a-doodle-doo in 2 seconds, but all the comments are like, wait, I think it took us 0.2 seconds to figure out who the fuck this is. At first I thought it was a graphic that they made. I thought someone sat there and created like a shadow of a man. In fact, I think they took the celebrity they were talking about, someone went into Adobe Photoshop and then just outlined his side profile, colored it black. Like that. Just compare it with this picture. The celebrity in question is Tao, former EXO member Tao. Now, in response to this, Tao and his team make a very firm statement. In fact, Tao's manager comes out on Weibo and he says, you guys are all misunderstanding what actually happened, okay? Nobody was offended because Tao looks like Hwang Bo. First of all, he looks nothing like Hwang Bo. Second of all, they were talking to me. Okay, they said I look like Hwang Bo. They were teasing me in the dressing room that I look like Hwang Bo. Okay, but somehow Tao got caught in the crossfire. It was all misunderstood that he was really unhappy about it. But the misunderstandings are all caused because I look like Hwang Bo. Okay, Tao, I just want to publicly say that I'm so sorry. He then posts pictures of him and Hwang Bo. Guys, they're identical. I'm so sorry. They're identical. They look like they have the same mother. Like maybe a different father, but they for sure have the same mother. In fact, I will send them free 23andMe's. Like this. They look the same. Now Tao then retweets this article and says, I'm fine, brother, don't worry. But also, Mr. Hwang Bo is my idol. I would never pull the Shraddha Pai card. All the hard work that I've done now is to get a card. You guys, I haven't even gotten to the poker table yet. I'm just trying to get one card. So that's the statement that's made. Everybody just jumps over it. I mean, the fans are like, we get it. It's a misunderstanding, not a big deal. It's not really a scandal. And then the disciplinary committee of the entertainment industry comes forward. You're like, when did that committee exist? It's not. It's a one-member committee. It's Wang Sutong. He is the committee. Wang Sutong is the AMC billionaire's son. And he comes out and he starts criticizing Tao. He says, you're so ugly. You're as ugly as a horse. Isn't Hwang Bo so much more handsome than you? I will reveal all the one-night stands you made in the name of dating. You're such an idiot.
This is like typical Wang Sutong behavior. This is him dissing Tao, but he does this to like 10 celebrities a day. So
yes.
This is kind of like a common behavior.
It's like a diss, but also I don't think that he thinks anything further or deeper. Ever. Like, I think he tweets this and then completely forgets about these celebrities. Like, I don't think he genuinely is sitting here hating on these celebrities most of the time, right? So that's like his first little mini scandal. Now, September 2015, this is actually a real scandal and people are very divided about it. Leave it in the comments what you think. Tao gets invited by Versace, like a sub-brand of Versace, to be a part, to watch, be on the front row of the Spring Summer Fashion Week in London. He shows up. It's opening day of the show. And Tao is supposed to wear this lightning blue colored suit. What is lightning blue, you ask? Okay, let me try to describe it. It's more blue than royal blue. It's not navy blue. It's like bright neon blue. I don't know how it's primary color blue, but a little bit better than that. It's very fucking blue. I don't know how else to describe. It's so blue. He pairs it with light blue contact lenses. He's got brown hair. And during the middle of the runway, you see him walking with the models in this blue suit. So you're like, whoa, what's going on? Tao is a Chinese model for Versace now? Are they gonna like announce some sort of brand ambassadorship with Versace? This was not part of the plan. Apparently, Tao comes to the fashion show late. He has to get to his front row seat, but the models are already walking. There's nowhere to get to his seat without walking the runway. So he just randomly decides to find an opening in between models, step in, and start walking the runway. And then once he reaches his seat, he plops his ass down. What is going on? He's also sitting next to like a Vogue editor and she just looks pissed about the whole thing. The whole thing is made even worse because every fashion show has a theme. Every fashion show has like an aesthetic that they're going for. They're wearing a lot of white and black and grays. It's very neutral tones. And here he is in his royal red, white, and blue looking blue colored suit, just walking down the runway. It's breaking up the cohesiveness of the look. The creative vision is getting soiled by Tao. And Tao goes online to explain, no, it's actually not really my fault because my makeup and hair were done according to the expected time and I left an hour earlier. But the traffic jam in London? Unpredictable. I was very anxious, you know? Me and my team, we were even like running 8 blocks to the show. So sorry about that. It's very blunt. He's just like, I tried and then I did get to the show, right? Some fans thought it was kind of cute and frank, and they're like, you know what? It makes sense. Other people were like, this is so messed up. There have been so many instances of fashion designers not being able to utilize what they did on the runway because something ruined it. Like there was a misplaced something, like they can't advertise anymore. They're like, this is just rude. You're making an embarrassment out of Chinese netizens and like Chinese people by showing up late at London Fashion Week. But I will say, a lot of people also commented, I mean, what's the big deal? His walk was fire. His walk, I will say when I saw it, I didn't realize he was Tao. I thought he was one of the models.
Really?
Yeah. He's really tall and he was doing that like model walk.
That's even funnier.
Like I felt like he was about to bite his lip and like wink at someone. And I'm like, model, I guess. Like it makes sense. Like his walk was kind of good. Yeah. And then people were just commenting. I mean, even Anna Wintour can't pull this off. This is crazy. The fact that he's doing that. And of course, Wang Sitong, his number one hater, tweeted, skilled in taking advantage of walking on the runway. Tao brings us so much joy every day. Please don't smear him. Protect Tao. He's being sarcastic. Yeah. Now, anyway, another well-known blogger comes out and sarcastically starts poking fun at Tao. And he says, do you guys know how Fashion Week works? If Tao is truly a huge international superstar, they won't even start the show until he shows up. So the fact that he's walking in with the models, I don't know, I'm just saying. He's not as big as he thinks he is. And then other people were coming into the comments being like, actually, the fact that when you go to fashion shows, if you're late, they don't let you in. There have been so many Chinese celebrities who weren't allowed into fashion shows because they were late. They will close the doors because you can't interrupt. But the fact that he was allowed in either is because he's such a big celebrity, or B, this was all planned. This was all some sort of PR for Versace. Okay, like hype it up. Which kind of makes sense. I don't know. What do you believe?
I don't think so. He could have just wore like one of the outfits.
But then he wouldn't stand out.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, what are your thoughts? So this is like at the peak of his idol stardom, and Wang Sitong starts tweeting, after I saw so many stupid Tao fans, I decided to be his number one hater for the rest of my life. So this is like the energy Wang Sitong is giving. And he starts tagging this account on Weibo. And I wouldn't call it a hate account, but it's an account that makes fun of Tao. That's the whole account. They make memes of Tao. They make fun of Tao. And there's so many memeable moments. I don't even know how to explain. During all of the years that he's been famous, even when he was an idol in Korea, people have been taking screenshots of him and turning them into memes in China. His most famous contribution to the meme community is his slogan, I won't go die easily. Like, it's such a bizarre slogan. Okay, he says, I won't go die easily. The term I won't go die easily actually comes from an old EXO freestyle concert he did. So there was an EXO concert and Tao decides, you know what, this is my time to shine. This is my time to show off my freestyling skills. So he takes the mic and you actually see many members of EXO in there, including one that we have talked about. Anyway, he goes onto the mic and he says, listen my freestyle.
Listen my freestyle.
Some people scold me and make rumors, trying to make me angry, trying to make me lose confidence. Haha, don't be naive. This is my life. He's saying don't be naive. He says, I am fine. I won't go die easily. So there comes the birth of the saying, I won't go die easily. And it becomes the number one meme at the time.
Okay, to clarify.
Yes.
Basically, when he said, the way he said, I won't go die easily or something, it sounded really funny. So go die, we write it out in Chinese is go die. So the pronunciation of go die means dog belt. So Chinese people start typing in Chinese character, dog belt, meaning go die. Go die. I don't know. It just became a random internet meme that goes super viral.
I have to show you the memes, honey. Okay, so this is one meme. Okay, so go die. I mean, honestly, kind of good. Okay, this one I chuckled out loud. Okay.
You chuckle out loud?
It says your mom's ashes. I don't know.
What?
It's just so. Is that a spray kit? Like what? I just wondered. Like, why does his arm look so short? Why does he look so serious? Like, is that his sleeve or is he that pale? Ask me what I'm doing.
What are you doing?
Your mom's ashes.
What?
This one says, smile to live on. He just has such a memeable face. I'm sorry. I'll just show you one more, which is who you think you are. Wait, I have to show you one last one. Xiao Shabby. This is Shabby.
All right.
Guys.
You don't show off too much of your Chinese
I got freaking tricked. Okay, he was like, hey, honey, I'm going to teach you how to say something, okay? And he goes, you say, 没事小小 B, right? And I said, okay. And you say it, he's like, say it like that, cutely. 没事小小 B. So I go, 没事小小 B. And he says, I'm like, what does that mean? Oh, it means, no problem, you silly little c-. And then he's like, you say it because it's like really cute. You're like calling someone a bitch, like stop it, bitch, right? So I'm like, okay. I try to use it with Tiffany. She drops her chopsticks. This girl drops her chopsticks. She's like, Stephanie, where are you learning? She's saying it's really aggressive. You cannot
it really
say that.
depends on who says it though.
She says she never uses that.
No, this is the thing about it is you can use it pretty aggressively. I would say 90% is aggressive. But 10% between like the right couple, like you can make it work.
Like the right relationship?
Yeah.
So this is the test of the relationship.
Yeah.
小小 B. Okay,
Yeah.
guys, if you have a Chinese boyfriend or girlfriend, maybe not a parent.
Like you have to say 小, like little, like little
Little
stuff.
stupid.
Yeah. Don't say it's from us.
Yeah, no. And if you are watching this with your parents, 对不起. Sorry, I'm usually a really good influence. Later, when Tao was asked about these memes, because there's so many memes, and at one point they were like the only memes circulating, he just sat there and said, I'm not offended. I also use those memes. So that's like his energy. Honestly, I stan him after this. Like, after all this research, I kind of stan this guy. So let me continue. And you know how sometimes celebrities do things that are annoying, but when other celebrities do it, why is it not as annoying? Why is it more entertaining than it is annoying? So for example, people don't really love it when celebrities just show off so aggressively. Like, if they're trying to like make a pasta and they show off their $100,000 watch, it's like, come on now, you're just doing a lot. But for some reason, the way he does it, I kind of like it. Like, why would anyone need to wear two watches? Why would anyone need to wear two watches on one hand? It doesn't even make sense to me. How much are these watches?
They look like $1 million each.
Bah. He just hashtags Richard Mille. That's it, okay? He's showing off his Louis Vuitton. But the way he does it, it's not even casual flex. It's not even like, let me just casually take a picture of my breakfast and you see all my designer goods in the background. No, it's like an Avengers lineup photo.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like he's showing off his Pokemon cards.
Yeah, okay, let me explain. Okay, this is how it works. He loves to show off and he can't help it. Like, he literally like cannot help it. He loves to show off. If you go on his Instagram, all he does is show off.
Okay.
Like his wealth, his money, his cars and watches and everything, right? And the way he does it is so obnoxious.
Yes.
So it goes from what the f to like, oh my god, and then it's overboard obnoxious. It becomes funny.
Yes.
And when it becomes funny, then you just have to laugh.
Yes.
After you laugh, you're like, oh wow. This is entertaining.
Yes.
But then no matter how much people make fun of him for doing that, he keeps doing it.
And it's even more entertaining.
Exactly. So at a certain point, you're like, damn, you bring so much joy. I like you. Like, you are funny.
You deserve a Richard Mille.
Yeah. Like,
maybe not,
because
but
you're so funny.
Yeah, it's fascinating. You gotta show off obnoxiously. Moral of the story for this one is that if you're gonna flex, you gotta be really obnoxious about it. Otherwise, it's not that fun. People don't like it as much. Like, look at him just perched on top of his Ferrari. Look at that. Look at that elegant pose. Are you kidding? He too has a yard. But he did get outed for showing off in a fake way, people said. So at one point he did go to Los Angeles and he would make these really cringy captions of him laying down on the floor of a mansion, literally right next to a spiral staircase, as one does. Like, you don't come home and lay down next to your spiral staircase in your multi-million-dollar mansion. Like, that's the first thing you should do. He takes a picture and he says, home sweet home. So everyone is like, wow, home sweet home? That's his American mansion. Look at his mansions in China, and then also one in Beverly Hills, private pool, oversized bedroom with wraparound floor to ceiling windows. It reeks of money. How much money does this man have? Turns out it's rented. So people were kind of upset about that. Which, like, I don't know why that's a scandal, but people were like, come on now, don't be obnoxious. This is a rented house. Don't even try to flex on us like this. So this guy is probably the most clowned on celebrity at one point. But I mean, don't get me wrong. His fan base is massive. They're terrifying. They're massive. They're huge and they love him. But at the same time, a lot of China is kind of poking fun at him because of the way that he handles himself. So every time he gets asked, he always says, I don't know why so many people hate me. I don't want to talk about it much because even if I say anything, people won't understand. So I will prove it to you with my actions and hard work in the future. I am holding all of these comments in my heart. And all of a sudden, in 2016, people start loving him again. He reaches a new stage of stardom where people are like, holy shit. I kind of love how weird this guy is. And it's because he goes on a show, which I've already said, yes, the title is problematic. It's called Takes a Real Man. It is a national defense education special program where celebrities will go into the Chinese military and train with Chinese military officials, right? And it's supposed to be like a sense of national pride of like, look at our military, but also the celebrities get to experience hard work and military and
bazookas.
And bazookas. This is where the bazooka comes from, where they make him do the bazooka and he goes... that thing, okay? He goes on this show and he no longer has idol baggage. So idol baggage is a term that's used a lot in China. And I also think in Korea, where idols have so much pressure to look a certain way, to act a certain way, and care about their angles all the time in reality shows. So they're very stiff sometimes because the pressure that's put on them is making them stiff, right? He's going on this show, no makeup. You can't bring makeup to the military. You can't do all these things. And he's comedic gold. Everything about him, like every single mission that they have, he is absolutely sitting there going, yeah, no, I'm absolutely going to be the best. Like, I'm ready to take in everything. I'm actually really athletic. People don't know that about me. And then he will score the absolute lowest and he will genuinely be shocked and surprised. And people are like, how do you feel that you are the lowest scorer? And he'll just say, honestly, that was very surprising for me because I thought I would be perfect at everything. Like, just the way that he's bringing in comedic gold. He'll even say things like, I just am very handsome. So I think that's my selling point. I'm just very hot. Just straight face, okay? And people started praising him. He just seems cool. He's weird and people like it. To give you an idea of his personality, there was one live stream he was in where someone asked him, if my boyfriend cheats on me, what do I do?
Yes.
And he looks at the comments and he starts banging on the table. If he cheats, you break up. If he cheats one, he'll cheat again.
男朋友出轨怎么样？直接分手啊！这种出轨你还问我？肯定分手啊！想什么呢？哎，你出轨了，我不要你了，你滚吧！我向你敬礼 ，salute， 再见。大方一点，人都出轨了，你跟他在一块干什么？有点志气行不行 ？OK。
And then someone comments, what if my girlfriend cheats on me? What should I do? And he takes a moment. He collects himself and he says, equality! Equality! Break up! Equality!
女朋友出轨也再见啊！这不一样吗？男女平等，知道吗？谁出轨了就再见呗。永远不要。
And he just gets so riled up. There's another part where he's on this show and he's singing while he... Yeah, okay, I will say his career in Korea and then his career in China is vastly different according to some of these clips. So when he was like a Korean K-pop idol, he's always looking so cute, so handsome, right? And he's singing, dancing, not a hair out of place. In China, there's one clip of him sitting on the couch and he's singing for the audience. And then all of a sudden, he pulls off his hair, which is a wig, and reveals another wig where he's just bald down the middle and he's got the side hair like a old pervy grandpa. And he just keeps singing.
That was for, I think he was playing for a TV show, I think. That was his costume, yeah.
Like, he just does not take himself seriously. So it's really hard to not like the guy, even though he does some really bizarre shit, okay? So then he does another side quest where he starts doing live stream selling products, which he like goes on live and he starts selling all these different products of like sponsored brands. And they're random stuff. Sometimes it's like Kleenexes, sometimes it's face masks. There's really no cohesive list. One of his live streams, he sold $32 million of product. And the whole time, he's verbally assaulting his audience. He's just screaming at them. There's no acting. And like, honestly, I might buy stuff from him because of how honest this man is. In 11 hours, he live streamed for 11 hours. First of all, the dedication, the work that was. Okay, don't get me wrong, but like 11 hours doing anything is a lot of time, right? And he sold 1.6 million orders, and one of the product sales were exceeding over like 75,000 items. That's crazy numbers. And in the process of selling toothbrushes, sometimes they'll have representatives of the company of that product come so that they can answer any questions. And he's selling these toothbrushes, and the way he's holding it up, it's like this bright blue toothbrush. Okay, it's like turquoise, maybe mint colored. And he's holding it up and he's looking at it. Although the brush head is a bit ugly, it can be used for brushing your teeth, so it's okay. And the brand's boss is in the frame with him, on the live stream frame. And he starts looking a little bit confused. He's smiling, but he's like, what the fuck, bitch? And he's trying to be like, it works well. It works really well. Yeah, it works well, but the color is ugly. I mean, I can't say everything is good. I don't like the color. I just don't like it. But it can be used to brush your teeth. So it's okay if you like the color. It's cheap, it's usable, and it's affordable. People are like, what the fuck is going on? One time, he was selling instant noodles. And if you buy 4 packs of instant noodles, they give you a small electric pot for free. Like the ones that you can hook up to the outlet and cook your noodles directly in.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go to the stove, right? So normally the audience is supposed to ask questions like, okay, well, what do the noodles taste like? Like, what's the flavor profile? But Tao's audience keeps asking about the free pot. They're like, wait, so if I do 2 orders, do I get 2 free pots? Wait, what's the power of how fast does it cook the noodles? What's the diameter of the pot? Can I cook like 4 packs of noodles at the same time? Or is it like 1 packet? Wait, can I also cook stir fries in it? Is the quality of the electric pot good? And at first, Tao is answering the questions, each question, right? Eventually he blows up and he doesn't even know what to do. He tells his audience, he verbally assaults them. The pot quality is good, okay? I don't know the diameter. You can't eat the pot. People are asking me if the pot is anti-scalding. And he starts shouting. I don't know. The brand gives the pot for free. Why are you so picky? As long as you can use it, it's a free. They give it to you for free, not selling it. I'm here selling the noodles, not the pot.
我的功率，我有盖子吗？能用不就行了吗？你是送的，不是卖给你们的，我是卖面的，不是卖锅的。
Seeing Tao's reaction, everyone was like, I gotta buy the noodles now. I do. Another time he's selling fleece wear. Y'all know fleece wear? Where are my winter girlies at, okay?
Yeah.
It's not as common if you live in like the South or California, but fleece wear, a lot of Asians wear fleece wear under their clothes because it's freaking cold during the winter. And so he's selling it. And fleece wear is tight. It's very tight. It's supposed to hug your body. And so he's showing it up. He's like, okay, so the quality is good, all of this. And all the comments are like, okay, well, if you put it on for us, we'll start buying it. These comments, his fans are crazy too. Okay? So he's like, You think by you saying that, I'm gonna go put this on because you're like, oh, I'll buy one if you put Yeah, okay.
穿我就买，你以为这样我就会穿？你以为这样我黄子韬能妥协？那就给你们试穿一下吧。
So then he goes to put it on, right? And he sits down and it's just so tight. It's so tight. It's a black fleece wear. It's so tight. And someone comments, oh no, the little balls are forming. That makes it sound like the fleece is pilling. The sweaters, because when the sweaters are not good quality, they start pilling.
They're forming little balls.
Fluff balls, because they're cheap. Yeah. And he starts looking at his sleeves like, what are you talking about? Where is it pilling, huh? Where's the balls, huh? And then he looks down and he covers his chest because they're talking about his nipples. And he goes, oh, like he realized before. Yeah, he realized by himself that they're talking about his nips.
起球了，哪起球了？哪有球啊？球在哪儿？哦，他们说了，不要在直播间搞我。
And then he's holding onto his boobies like this, and he's like, don't do this to me while I'm live broadcasting, please. People, come on. I'm so speechless. What's wrong with you guys? He's just holding onto his boobs like someone's trying to take a picture of him. And here I was thinking where the little balls are. Yeah, anyway. Then the netizen asks him to try on the purple color. So his assistant brings over the purple color. And the assistant is like, it's the woman's style. It's going to be a lot tighter. And he's like, are you guys messing with me? You guys are playing with me. You want me to try on the purple one? He leaves the screen. He comes back into screen. He's wearing the purple one. Very tight. The balls are definitely there. Okay. They're poking out. They might touch you on the screen. Okay. And he sits down. Girls, listen. This is what the purple color looks like. But look at this chest. But also, if you are a man who wants to show off your body shape, you can also choose the purple one. The purple one's good. You know, not a lot of guys can pull this off. However, me, I look good in purple too. Look at me. I look good. It accentuates. Not all men can wear purple, but I can wear purple.
虽然我是一个男人，但是我穿上女性的衣服的时候，
Yeah, so that's how he sells fleecewear. Honestly, I'm going to start doing ad reads like that. I'm going to start screaming at you guys. I'm going to start verbally assaulting you. Now, Tao's mom is also such a big part of his life. At one point, he's live streaming and he looks at the... Mom! Why is my mom here? Mom!
妈来了，妈妈。
Mom, why did you buy 80,000 pieces of this face mask? Why did you order 80,000 units? Where are we going to put them in the house?
8万单没有了。妈，你怎么买这么多单？你买了8万单，家里往哪放？
Oh my god, my mom really doesn't listen. I mean, as soon as I upload the item link, she places the orders. You don't ever listen. And then people in the comments are so confused because they're so used to getting verbally assaulted by him. They go, we're not your mom. And then he gets even more frustrated. I'm not calling you guys my mom. I'm talking to my mom, my real mom.
我不是说你们是我妈，我在跟我真正的妈妈说话。
What the fuck? Like he's getting confused. He's like, guys, don't be dumb. Yeah. No, he loves his mom, it seems. And he and his mom are very cute. And like a few weeks later, he was actually caught on a first-class airplane trip. What? He was caught on first class in an airplane and he was putting on a face mask that his mom has 80,000 units of. So he should be using like 10 a day. Yeah, so everyone starts joking. Tao earns millions, but his mom spends billions for his career to buy his live streaming stuff. And sometimes he'll actually get a lot of anti-fans come into his live stream and they think that he's taking advantage of his fans and selling all these products to the masses. He won't ignore those comments. He'll just stop and he'll start screaming, if I don't make money, who will?
Wait, what?
If I don't make money, who will make money? You are jealous of me, okay? Because I have everything that you cannot have.
Oh.
What ability do you have to be jealous of me? From which angle are you jealous of me? That's what I thought. When the country was in a hard time, guess what? I donated almost $1 million to the country. Where were you? What were you donating?
Dang.
When the country was going through a rough time, all the clothes removed from the shelves, donated to the province that needed help without profit. So if I don't make money, who's going to make money, okay? The money I make, I give to a lot of people. Yeah. Which, side note, he does donate a lot, which makes people really like him. Yeah. He's actually known for being weirdly caring. Like the whole, should I break up with my boyfriend if he cheats on me? Yes, he's screaming at you. Yes, he's verbally abusing us. But does he care for us at the end of the day? I think so. I think he means well. Like he has friends that were bullied from when he was younger and okay, so he has a friend who is deaf and mute. That friend was bullied a lot when they were kids. So this is before Tao is even famous. Tao learned sign language to befriend him.
Wow.
And they've been friends ever since. And so he also wasn't the one that told the media this, because that's also ick. But the media found out because anytime someone gets famous, they're like, "Ugh, let's go dig up dirt on them." And then they found out, oh, so he's a nice person? And when he was confronted about it, he's like, yeah, I mean, I just want to protect him. Like, I don't want to talk about this. Like, that's weird. I'm not trying to like interrupt my friend's life and make this a whole, look at how good Tao is moment. Yeah. So people loved him more.
I think his whole thing is they call him like the 耿直 boy. Like 耿直 means like blunt, straightforward, super frank. You know, everything he says and does, it's like doesn't process through his brain. He just like screams it out whatever he feels. And then he kind of always lands himself in trouble because like some things he said or does. A little obnoxious. Likes to show off. But fundamentally, I don't think he's bad. Like he always mean well, but he's just really obnoxious. Yeah, so I think a lot of people realize guy always means well, sometimes does not communicate well is his problem. But he's actually a billionaire. Oh, right, that's right.
So in 2020, his dad passed away and he inherited $3 billion, which is crazy. His dad was like a super famous businessman in Shandong.
$3 billion.
$3 billion.
Yeah. And then I think he started a bunch of agencies, right? Like his own business.
He has 12 businesses now.
And it's all like media, in the media space, I think.
July 14th of 2024. This is how he becomes thrust into our Chinaverse by trending on Weibo for a long period of time because he confirms a romantic relationship with an idol by the name of Xu Yiyang.
Xu Yiyang.
Yes. So he confirms, hey, I'm dating her. We've been dating for a hot minute. So anyway, just want you guys to be happy for us, basically. Now, here's a few things about this. Yiyang is an artist managed under his management company. So some people are like, that's a little bit weird, but it's fine, right? We'll get over it. Or as long as she's happy, we're all happy for you guys. Like maybe you guys bonded over something. That's not the problem. They upload 2 photos onto their Weibo accounts and they tag each other. So it's like videos of them hugging each other and then all of a sudden the scene splits and they're in a field and they're hugging each other even more and it's like super romantic but also very professionally done. Like it looks really good. So they share these videos and they hard launch their relationship. And everyone in the comments is pissed. They're not pissed because he's dating someone. I mean, there's obviously some fans that are pissed because he's dating someone, but most of these people are like, what the fuck, bro? We been new, okay? You don't have to hard launch a relationship that everybody already knows about. That doesn't make any sense. Someone just comments, no understanding, no respect, no blessings for y'all. That's crazy, okay? There's no difference between making an official announcement or not because we all been new. This is so speechless, okay? All we can do is give a laugh at this because this is so ridiculous. Everybody is just flooding the comments. They're mocking him. They're saying, what are you talking about? Like, get this off of my screen. This isn't even news. What are you trying to do right now? Do you think we're dumb? Do you think we're done? So the people who don't really know what's going on, they're trying to look at who's Young, like who is this girl that he's dating because he's a lot more famous than her. And I'm saying that because he was one of the most famous people in China. Because for the past 2-3 years, these two have been basically showing everyone that they're in a relationship without showing everyone that they're in a relationship. So first of all, they were on this show together where it's like a Produced 101 type of show where you have all of these female contestants come up, and I'm sure they have like the guy version, right? But the female contestants come up and they got to compete with each other to become part of a girl group. So he's a coach on there. She's one of the contestants, but they actually knew each other from before. They were both SM trainees. So she was a trainee at SM before all of this. Comes back to China, she's Chinese, and she starts auditioning for this show. She makes it to like number 8, but she doesn't make it into the girl group because I think there's only 6 spots available, but she was under his training. And the whole time, the way that they're talking on the show, even on the show, it's like very comfortable. It's not like a coach and protege type of environment. She's always poking fun at him. They always seem like oddly jealous when other people are talking to them. It's like a little bit, it's flirtatious. But at that point, people are like, maybe it's for the show's ratings. Maybe they're just trying to create some stir, some buzz, because immediately after the show, he signs her as one of his very first artists under his brand. So she gets signed, and then more starts happening. He's living his best life.
I think she was already part of his company
on
the show. Yeah, before she went on the show, I believe.
Yes, okay.
So he was promoting her more. I can't remember exactly, but they are already, established. Like, he's promoting the of her on his social media to vote for her.
Yes, and then afterwards, even when she lost, he starts posting like really gushy, long-winded captions of like, you did your absolute best. It's okay when one door closes, another door opens, and you're gonna find the path for you. It's a lot more than what you would imagine your manager be writing for you. Managers just be like, it's fine. Like, we'll move on to the next project. You're gonna be okay. Come on now. Let's just work harder. But it's very gushy. It reminded people of how boyfriends would comfort a girlfriend when she doesn't make the team that she wants to make. So people are like, okay, it's a little bit weird. But fine, we're moving on. Then in another instance in 2022, Tao is showing someone his phone. Like, he's showing his phone on live stream, and people see his WeChat profile picture, which is like this fucking schmal on a phone. Okay? They screenshot it, they zoom, they zoom. You know those movies where the FBI is like, wait, can you unblur it? Can you make it better? And then all of a sudden, the FBI can see what you're texting from the camera on top of the Eiffel Tower, and you are in England, and they see what you're texting, and they're like, got him. That's the one. Let's get him. That's what happened here. So they zoom in, and they're like, that is a picture of a loving couple on the beach, chasing each other. And the girl is Yi Yang. So.
And it's her back profile.
But we know it's her because look at the dimension of her shoulder. When you cross-reference it to this picture of her shoulder, exactly the same. Do you know what I mean? Exactly the same. Now, why does he not come forward and just say, I'm dating this girl? Probably because the fact that he's still an idol at the end of the day. And it seems like a lot of his fans in China and globally did not want him to date anybody. His fans some of them seem genuinely upset at the idea that he's dating Yi Yang. Like genuinely upset. But I will say a good chunk of his fans are like, I mean, do your thing. Don't be weird. But now, is that in Tao's nature to not be weird? No. So what he does next is he tells people, stop with these rumors. He outright denies any sort of relationship with Yi Yang multiple times. He keeps saying, she's like my sister to me. She's a talent under my agency. Do you not want me to promote her? That's the whole agency's job. I gotta put funds into marketing her. At one point, he even gets her on stage at his concert so that they can sing a song called Ice Cream together. The song is not really a bop, but it's not bad. Like, I'm not bopping, but I'm also kind of like, what's going on? Okay, so it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I could not do any better. So they're on there, they're singing and dancing the song, and they seem like just very comfortable with each other's bodies. I mean, they're not doing anything weird. It's weird. Okay, so people are like, I don't know. Think about it. He's so famous. He's at the peak of his career. Would he just bring on all of his talent on stage to perform with him? It seems like he's devoting a lot of resources to her. And then all the people would defend him and say, it's because he's good at his job. He's a good boss. Do you not want a boss rooting for you in your corner? It's a whole thing. And every single time.
There's a whole thing of he only followed her.
Oh, yeah.
On her Weibo.
Oh, yeah. Only follows her.
No, but that was after the incident that she didn't make it to the girl group. Mm-hmm. So literally the next day he makes a long sobby post. And then the day after he's like, this is my Weibo account. For the last however many years, I always follow 0 people. Starting today, that 0 will become 1. And that 1 person is Xu Yiyang, my talent in my company, blah, 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 blah.
Like, this man is in love. No, like this man is clearly in love. And I don't know what else to say at this point. Okay. So he would post like that. He only follows her. He also, sometimes if you went onto his Instagram, people said it's like a fan account for Yi Yang. Sometimes, like, that's what it felt like.
But I think the problem is there's rumors, there's conversations that, are you guys dating? What's going on? But he always throw a whole tantrum.
Every single time. His tantrums are out of this world. I'm about to go over his tantrums. There's one where he's sitting at his office desk and he's running his hands through his hair and he gets so stressed out, all because of 5 dragons. He posts onto his social media a picture of 5 dragon rings. They're diamond and gold. It's crazy. 5 different dragons, right? And the whole point, I think it's like a wordplay.
So 5 dragon in Chinese is 五龙, 5 dragon. 五龙 also sounds very similar to oolong. The translation of oolong is like a misunderstanding of a situation. So he showed 5 dragons and he trying to hint at this whole situation about our relationship is a misunderstanding of a situation. It's oolong.
This is like him responding without responding.
Yeah, he posts 5 rings.
But obviously it's responding because everybody knows what he's talking about. It's not like this obscure Easter egg. Everyone's like, oh, okay, that literally means he's trying to say that this is misunderstood, right? But then netizens are looking at the rings and like, bitch, if I'm not mistaken, one of them looks like a fucking sheep. There is a sheep in disguise here. In disguise as a dragon. You know what sheep sounds like?
Sheep is young.
Yeah.
E is 1.
There's 1 sheep.
Yi Yang is her name.
1 sheep in the 5 dragons, okay?
So it's no longer Wulong. Now it's 4 dragon.
Yeah.
4龙. So it's no longer Wulong. And then one of them is Yi Yang.
So it's no longer misunderstanding.
Now it's a secret love message.
Yeah. it's just his girlfriend's name. Okay? That's what this Instagram post is. And like at this point, everyone's like, honestly, this guy is weird. He's in love. We support it, I guess. But also like, why do you keep denying it? And it's so obvious. He goes on live stream afterwards. And it's like a parent scolding his children is the feeling. He's like, do you know those 5 dragons?
I can't buy 5 of the same 5 dragon rings. Okay, I have to wear them on different days, so I need 5 different dragons. You think I sit there and I'm like, can you make one look like a sheep? No, these are 5 different dragons that I bought.
And he starts screaming, what's wrong with posting a dragon ring, okay? I'm not afraid to show you guys my phone. Like, what is the fault in this? Please. I mean, some dragons' ears go up, some go down, okay?
The one that goes down looks like a sheep.
Yeah, it kind of does.
然后我明明发了是5个龙，你非把那个龙说成是一只羊。
Does it look like a sheep or no? That does look sheepish, huh? No, that would be very crazy if that's his intention, that he's actually trying to hide a secret message to the girlfriend, like Yang.
But honestly, I stand. Like, I feel like that's a book talk book right there. People don't stand. People don't stand. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why. It's not a bad reason, but it's just a whole thing. Anyway, he keeps screaming, I ordered 5 rings, but you all insist one of them is a sheep. What? Why? When did it become a sheep? Like, he's so upset. He's so dramatic in these live streams. He also talks about his WeChat profile photo and he goes, I just don't take many photos, okay? So I just saw this good looking one and this is my friend. Why can't I use it? I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal. That's it. People also found out that they are in games, in some Chinese games, and I don't know if it's like globally. I think so. You can marry someone in a game. So you can be linked to that person as like they're in a marriage, right? So people find his private game account and he's married to Yi Yang in the game account. And he comes out and he throws another tantrum and he's verbally assaulting his fans. What do you want me to do? Marry my mom in the game? I don't have a lot of girlfriends, so what was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to do? Huh? Make my mom an account and marry my mom? No way. Okay. You guys, please, what's wrong with you guys, huh? I'm not gonna do that. I don't have girlfriends, and some people just marry their friends. Does that mean that they're dating? I don't think so. Why can't I just pair with her? Please. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Because I don't have a girlfriend. Some people are like, what is going on? Is this man okay right now? So a lot of people had some problems with this because, well, I would say most people don't care. But the ones that cared felt like he's doing this to trick his fans into believing that he doesn't have a relationship. And he wants to keep those fans that believe that they have a shot at dating him one day. And people just feel like this kind of icky. It's not cancelable. It's not weird. It's just their personal preference of, So to give you an idea, right, there was another Chinese EXO member, Lu Han, who also came to China afterwards. And he was like when they all 3 came back to China.
There were 4 actually.
Oh, when all of them came back to China, like when they're restarting their career in China, they're at the peak of their career. Everyone's obsessed with them. They are the it boys in all of China. Nobody can even stand to compare at this point. They're like the new generation. And so Lu Han, he announces pretty quickly on that he, at the peak of his career, that he's in a very serious long-term relationship with his girlfriend. And he lost millions of fans immediately.
Overnight, 3 million fans gone.
Which is crazy. I think the fans are the problem, but also people thought it was very admirable.
Yeah, they all come around like, well, like, you know?
Like, don't you want to stand someone who's in a loyal relationship and is like a good person and doesn't want his girlfriend to feel like he's hiding her, right? Like, you got to stand him for that. So people are comparing him to Lu Han. Like, come on now. be a man. Like, say something about it. Like, post about it. It's weird. You keep denying it, and you keep denying it so dramatically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, at least deny it simply.
But not even like, okay, so the problem is he denies it in the most theatrical performance.
Yeah.
And then next day, it will be a leak of something. Like, this happened over and over and over and over and over.
To the point where people don't even care anymore. They're just sick of it. They're like, come on. Oh my God. They're like, please just say you're in a relationship. Like, we can't go through this cycle again. And it's just, it's like back to back, like all throughout 2022, and I'm sure a good chunk of 2023, people would just paparazzi them, or fans would run into them, just checking into hotels together, grocery shopping together, just going back home together to Tao's house. She would come to visit him on set, and then they would get in the car and go back to his house together. She basically lives in his mansion. She was spotted out eating with his family twice. And listen, I just knew they were in a relationship after I saw this clip. The two of them are sitting there at what appears to be a hot pot restaurant, and his mom is there. The one that bought 80,000 face masks. Okay. I couldn't get a good look at her face, but I imagine it's glassy. Now, at one point, she looks at him because I'm sure he said something stupid, and she just taps the back of his head with her hand. No hesitation. She doesn't even giggle, haha. She doesn't even look at his face to make sure, ooh, did I push our boundaries too far in this friendship? It's like...
Not even friendship, employment.
Yeah, employment.
Like, she just pushes her boss's head.
Yeah, like the back of his head. This is giving peak Chinese girlfriend, Chinese boyfriend says something dumb. Like, just peak. I feel like your mom would do this to your dad. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it's giving. Like, I can't describe it in any other way. But after that, he goes, you guys think too much. You think too much. We're not in a relationship. 2 days later, they would be seen in Hong Kong shopping wearing couples outfits. Couples outfits. I'm not making this shit up. They're spending Valentine's Day together in couples outfits. Okay. You see my knee is coming up. My arm is resting on my knee. This is the Korean pose of like, I'm getting exhausted. Okay. How is he not exhausted? We're all exhausted. We know what's going on here. Let's be real now. Now, apparently he actually confessed his love for her at a Gangnam club once. Not the club you're thinking, a different club, okay? He went to a club with her once in Seoul, and he had the love you, Yi Young. I guess he bought a bunch of bottles and had the electric sign say, love you, Yi Young.
Dang.
And people are taking pictures of that. And they're like, now even all of Korea knows just how much Boss Tao loves his employees. Okay, we get it. You love your employees. It got to the point where even paparazzi no longer gave a shit about them anymore. They could be walking around making out, and the paparazzi was like, forget them. Because even if we waste our film taking a photo, if we waste our SD card space taking photos, we post it, he's gonna be sighing on live stream. Guys, I'm sorry. I can't even hang out with my employees now.
I can't even tongue kiss my employee now. Like, come on, please. Is there something wrong with that? Like,
what? So you want me to tongue kiss my mom?
She got a lettuce stuck between her teeth. I'm just helping her out.
You want her to go on stage with lettuce in between her teeth? Jeez Louise. At one point, someone is, so they're walking into a restaurant together to tongue kiss as boss and employee. And one of Yi Young's fans was waiting outside, and he screams, I love you, Yi Young! And there's a video of this, and people say, you can't really hear what Tao is saying, but a lot of the witnesses said he was very, very jealous. He turned to his girlfriend, or no, his employee, and said, someone loves you. They said, I love you, Yi Young. They said they love you. What are you going to say back? You should say something back. Like, literally, boyfriend energy. What? There's also, like, they go on this reality show together as boss and employee, and they're just, like, riding a horse together.
Dude.
They're just, like, holding hands. They're eating the same biscuit. They're leaning on each other when they're tired. Like at this point, guys, it would be like me denying my relationship with my husband.
Oh no.
Like being like, no, we're not together, guys. With that wedding video? I can't even have a wedding video with a friend? What am I supposed to do? Marry my dad? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! But it's confusing why he did that. I will say that. So a lot of people theorize he did that so that he wouldn't lose his hardcore fans, right? But then sometimes he would do this shit on live streams where one of his fans would be like, husband, in the comments, right? Please let me know your thoughts on this. He would bluntly respond, didn't I shatter your fantasies a long time ago? Why are you fantasizing that I'm your husband? How can you call me husband when you can't even hold my hand?
Damn.
Another time someone called him husband, he goes, that's really funny. Please stop having fantasies and live in your real life in reality properly, please. Which, like, some fans were really upset about it. They called him ungrateful and inconsiderate. After 3 years of dating, Tao and Young decide that they're going to do a reality show together called Dare or Not. In June 2024, it's produced by Tao, by the way. So the reality show is organized in collaboration with tourism and publicity departments across the Yunnan province. So they're going to go through Yunnan and just show all the cool spots and all the restaurants and stuff. So Tao invites three to four of his friends, including some other celebrities. And they're just going on this 15-day cultural exploration trip around Yunnan. And during this journey, they're experiencing local culture. They're going to bed in these local hotels or these local houses. And then all of a sudden, one night, there's a fight breaking out at 3 a.m. It's an argument. It's between Tao and Yang, which I too get into screaming fights with former bosses at 3 a.m, okay? So people are like, let's just turn the cameras off. It's not a big deal. The next morning, cameras are rolling. Tao comes out and he's sitting down with all of his friends. Young is not there. The program crew, they're there. They're filming this. He sounds so serious. Everyone's confused. Are we getting fired? What's going on? Later, when we go to the next place, I might need to make it public. You see the program guests, his friends, okay? One of them is a famous stand-up comedian who does not know how to poker face anything. They lean towards him and they look confused. What? We just woke up. Like, what are you making? We're making public. What's going public? I have to disclose that Young and I have actually been together for a long time. After he finishes this sentence, the comedian and the other guy on the show look at him, look at each other, their nostrils flare, and they try to act like they don't know what he's talking about. They're like, whoa, this is fucking news to us. But you can just tell they're trying so hard not to smile because the way he's being so dramatic about it, when it's like, have you not checked Weibo, bro? Everybody knows. Like, what? You are living in your own world, sir. Like, what do you mean you're making it public? It's been public since like 2021. What? One of them became a meme. Chinese netizens commented this phrase of, this man is thinking about every sad event that has ever happened in his life. Okay, because he's trying so hard to hold in his smile. And this is their response because they can't laugh. You. That's it, you. And then the other guy glances at Tao. Oh, like directly announcing to the public? Yes. And he starts complaining rather dramatically of how painful it is. Okay, so just to give you some context on why this is trending and how hilarious this whole situation is, okay, is that, first of all, everyone knew that they were dating since 3 years ago. This is not news. No one is expecting them to hide it. They haven't been hiding it, okay? Yeah. Second of all, people are dying. Like, there's real shit going on, right? Do you know how painful it is for us? And he's like, so serious. We can't even show us interacting in public. You know, we can only hide our love in secret away from others. And I'm just tired. I'm tired of it. You know, we had a fight last night because she just felt very frustrated. You know what I mean? Like, I've been preparing for this trip and this whole thing for a very long time, and I brought her onto the show so that we can all have fun together. And aside from capturing all these cultural moments, you know, I wanted to record all of our romantic moments. That's what I wanted. But it's confusing for her because I don't want to make it public. It's difficult for her, but the cameras are rolling and I want to hold her hand, and she's getting confused, and we fought. And everyone's nostrils are still flaring. Like, what are you? It's like him sitting down very dramatically telling them the sky is blue. And he's like, I just don't want to play anymore. You know, I don't want to do this anymore. He also starts crying at one point. Yeah, and everyone is so confused on what to do. They're so confused. And they're also like, okay, well, I guess you already announced it publicly. Like, do you want to talk to the producers about how you want to go more public? Because he had this whole thing of going to this little flower farm and putting her on his back and announcing to her that he wants to announce it to the press. And they're like, okay, well, how does she feel about it? And he's like, she doesn't know. Okay, so you're just doing this all by yourself? You just decided that you're going to make this public relationship public again? Like, what's going on? Eventually, he does make the relationship public during the filming of the show, where he is in a rose garden with her and he starts crying about how he was wrong. He felt that because outsiders had misunderstandings of his relationship, he just wanted to hide theirs and protect their relationship. And then he starts crying. I endured a lot of pain. I've been waiting for this day. I've waited so long, especially at my current period. This is again where people are like, this is so wild. He said, I wanted to announce my relationship sooner, but my dad passed away 3 years ago. And it is tradition that I do not announce any happy news for 3 years after a parental's passing. So I couldn't express happiness. But I'm ready to move towards happiness now. With you, I don't want to hide anything in the future. So I can just hold your hand whenever I want to. Which he does already. Okay? Do whatever I want. Which he does already. And I don't need to care about anyone's opinion. This is the life I want to give you. Instead of us hiding all the time. Which they don't. They were shopping in Hong Kong in couples shirts on Valentine's Day. But I kind of stand. I like them, okay?
Did you see the part that he in the middle, he asked her, like, am I handsome?
Yes. He literally, like, he's crying and he's like, am I handsome? And she says, yeah. And she says, you're the most handsome when you cry, so I hope you cry a lot more in the future. And everyone actually loves her for this answer. Everyone loves the whole vibe of their relationship. So I guess prior to this, we only saw snippets of their relationship, but after they made it public on the rest of the show, they show more of their relationship, and it's actually very cute. Tao is 31. He is 4 years older than Young, but you can see their personality dynamic. He's a little bit more childish, a little bit more blunt, a little bit crazier, and she is like this calm figure. Like just unfazed by everything. And he seems like he's obsessed with getting her affection. There are times in the car where he'll be in the driver's seat, she's in the passenger seat, and he'll just like nuzzle his head over to her, and she'll hold out her palm and he'll like put his head in her palm and just like rub his face on her palm like she's a mom. Meanwhile, the stand-up comedians in the back, just in the back of the car, all of them are still in the back. Like, what the f***? Okay. Yeah, they're just like sitting there watching this all go down. So they're really cute on the show, but it was trending on Weibo because there was some discourse about it. Some people didn't like the fact that he waited until his career stalled a little bit. So they were saying he was at his peak, and then it wasn't downturning, I wouldn't even say. It was just kind of not peaking. It was not as peaking as it used to peak, right?
Yeah.
And then he was like, okay, now I'm going to announce the relationship. So it felt not as romantic. Yeah. Like when you watch the footage, it feels romantic, but then knowing behind the scenes that it was like plotted out by a bunch of managers and producers, it feels weird. Also, they found evidence that the announcement video that they took was filmed like a year ago or something.
Yeah.
It was filmed
pre-filmed, and it seems like they're gonna launch it. They're still just waiting on the time.
Yeah. And it didn't feel like a spur of the moment.
Yeah.
So everything felt very planned, which then people were like, I mean, the footage itself is romantic, but the fact that you hid your girlfriend for so long, and then you planned the launch to coincide with like work projects.
Yeah.
They're like, it felt a little icky.
Yeah.
That's all. But other than that, honestly, I feel like after all the celebrity dating stories we've done, I feel like I stan them. I feel like he's so smitten with her. I feel like he loves her. I hope they work out. She's really pretty, but she also seems very chill. She's so cool. I don't know how to describe her aura. Like very cool, chill, unfazed. Like she doesn't give me the type either that was sitting there like, make it public, which nothing is wrong with that. But I don't think that she was doing that either. Like she gives me like the cool girl vibe of like, whatever.
Yeah, I think he said at one point that she said it's okay. Like every time he apparently like people were making like online speculations and she was comforting him, saying no, it's okay, don't worry.
Yeah, because it seems like, you know, it's kind of to be like, no, we're not dating. What's wrong with you guys? But then she'd be like, no, it's chill. I don't really care like that. Yeah. So the moral of the story is, next time buy identical dragon rings. That's it. That's all I can tell you. What are your thoughts? Do you stan this couple? Because honestly, they're kind of cute. What are your thoughts on all of this? Do you feel like he tricked his fans, or honestly, they should be able to do whatever they want? Let me know in the comments. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. March 1st, 2021. Shailene is working as the manager of the Glen Orchid General Store. It's a cute little 2-story shop near the water in Canada. It's almost literally on the lake. It looks like the starting point of every small town romance novel. Customers walk in, they peruse through the snack aisles, they buy their little drinks, but they also sell fishing supplies if you just want to throw a yard right outside. If you're hungry, you can buy fresh fruit, fresh produce. There's picnic tables outside and they sell full-on, full-course meals. It's a cute little community cottage shop. Shailene, the general manager, she pulls up to the parking lot at around 6:30 that morning. They open at 7. And when she pulls up, there's already a dark-colored Mercedes SUV parked, perhaps waiting for her to open. It seems like they need something right at 7. So she rushes in, she's getting the store ready. 7 o'clock hits, she whips open the doors, and nobody's walking in. That's strange. She gives them more time. She doesn't see that couple in the dark-colored SUV walk in until 8 a.m., another hour later. Maybe they were taking a nap, who knows? A tall man with brown hair walks in. He's trying to buy some snacks and use the restroom. He's accompanied with what seems to be his girlfriend, an Asian woman with long black hair. The two of them buy a few things. They use the restroom for considerably quite a long time. And then the man turns to his Asian girlfriend and says, "She's here. We gotta go." Okay, it's a little weird, but Shailene thought maybe they're meeting someone. No big deal. Later that day, she goes to clean up the restroom and she's taken out the wastebasket when she notices that there is another black plastic bag inside the trash can. And she's like, you know what? Let me just open it up. She peeks inside. 40 bullets are inside the bag. Why are there 40 bullets in here? There's clothes, sweatpants.
40 bullets used or unused?
Unused. But still,
Whoa.
Who just trashes bullets?
That's crazy, yeah.
Clothes, she pulls them out. Tiny bits of blood on them, a phone charger with blood, and then she pulls out a key, car keys to an Audi Q5, a luxury vehicle. Who just throws away car keys to a car like that? And a blonde wig. So strange. She thinks it's so strange, in fact, she immediately calls the police. She tells them everything. Okay, and ma'am, what did the couple look like? Oh, very good looking.
What?
The very good-looking couple wouldn't be found for months. They're found months later in Eastern Europe. Their names are Oliver and Lucy, but only one of them comes back to Canada, Lucy. And when she lands back in Canadian soil months after this bizarre blonde wig and bullets in the general store trash can, she's taken into this tiny windowless room. It's this interrogation room, and a man sits in front of her and asks her, "How's your flight, Lucy?" She responds, "The food wasn't bad, but not the best flight experience. I'm not used to sitting in tight spaces." The officer chuckles. Yeah, flying coach is is a little bit, and I feel really bad for the officers that had to come and get me because they had to make layovers. Oh, before they met with you, Lucy, our service allowed them to take some annual leave time. So they got some time to see the city and the sights. They weren't that inconvenienced. She puts her hand up to her heart.
Yeah, me and my mom was really concerned about that. And we offered Interpol to tell them that we'll fly them private, but Interpol declined the offer.
Yeah, we can't accept things from... things like that. We have to do things. We have to follow the rules.
Wait, her mom wants to fly Interpol police in a private jet?
Yes, from Eastern Europe to Canada. Lucy honestly just felt bad for the Canadian officials who had to practically babysit her on this international flight, flying economy. The officer responds, "Oh, thank you for the offer, Lucy, but we can't accept things like that from The detective looks like he wants to say, like suspected murderers like you. This is the murder case of what some people have deemed the Asian Kardashian sisters and how one of them committed murder." I'd like to thank today's sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support the SAFE Project, a national nonprofit dedicated to building collaboration to address the addiction epidemic, prevent overdoses, and the mental health challenges that may lead to them. Today's episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's growing team, and we'd also like to thank you guys for your continued support as we work on our mission to be worthy advocates. As always, full show notes are available at RottenMangoPodcast.com. A few disclaimers for today's case. There are mentions of illegal substance use and dealing. There's also a brief mention of a loss of pregnancy. So with that being said, let's get started. There is a saying when it comes to going to trial for a crime. The best defense is an expensive defense. The second best defense is a free defense. And the worst defense is a cheap defense, which has nothing to do with the attorney. There are a lot of passionate attorneys who will defend their clients regardless of how much financial compensation there is at the end. But technically speaking, resources could be the most important thing in a trial. For high-profile criminal cases that's gonna go to a full trial, a top criminal defense team could cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not in the millions of dollars range. O.J. Simpson's Dream Team defense, adjusted for inflation, would have been anywhere between $15 million now. The Enron executives, Ken Lay and Jeff Skilling, they paid nearly $70 million for their defense. There's a few reasons defense teams are pricey. One netizen states, it's not just the attorney standing with you in court. That money pays for half a dozen associates that are sitting in the office solely working on your case, researching every issue, cranking out quality motions at every possible point. It's the private investigators that are digging up every witness and shred of evidence. It's the team of 10 all-star experts, forensic experts, psychiatrists who are going to wow the jury with their resume and with the way they present the evidence in a way that favors your case. It's the jury consultants that are going to get the best jury panel in that box for you. That's why money makes a difference. There are plenty of public defenders and cheaper defenders, criminal defense attorneys who have tremendous amounts of experience and are as sharp as any celebrity lawyer. But when you buy a defense, you're not purchasing individual attorney talent. You're bankrolling an army. Another netizen comments, on top of that, powerful people play with powerful people, meaning high-profile criminal defense attorneys that get paid the big bucks likely go to parties where the judges are, where the prosecutors are. They probably have better connections and friendships, which can help negotiate plea deals or reduce charges. Which, if accurate, and there must be some truth to it, that there's so many instances of people buying innocence, it's severely depressing. Maybe a topic for another day. Today, though, we are talking about one of the most high-profile, established criminal defense attorneys in Canada, Liam O'Connor. He's well known in Toronto for getting defendants off for things like the attempted murder of a Toronto police officer, alleged hate crimes, conspiring to kill 2 people at the same time. I mean, you could say he knows what he's doing. He knows how to defend people. And in the case of Lucy Lee, who some people have dubbed the Asian Kardashian of Canada, he seems to be taking a slightly different approach, a unique approach. He's defending Lucy Lee, an Instagram model and daughter of a wealthy Chinese businesswoman, a well-connected, powerful businesswoman. And in his defense, he states to the jury, Lucy is a distinctively flawed individual. She is naive, She's superficial. She's juvenile. She is entitled. She is immature, sometimes irresponsible. She has terrible taste in men, which is not yet a crime, right? She is full of moral failings. She is perhaps the stupidest person in the room, or possibly on the planet. This is what she's paying, allegedly, maybe close to 7 figures for?
But not because none of that is a crime.
Yeah, none of that is a crime. And that seems to be the reasoning that he offers on why she tried to murder 2 people. Lucy Lee is the eldest of 3 triplets. The Lee family consists of the 3 triplets and the 2 other siblings. I think that's why also the Kardashian comes into play. It's a huge family. And Lucy is the eldest of all of them. But let's mainly focus on the triplets. It's Lucy, Caitlyn, and Jane. Lucy is the oldest by 5 minutes. They actually don't go by the name the Lee triplets. They go by the Mia triplets. I'm not sure why. That's what they call themselves. And I cannot exactly tell you how famous the triplets were. It seems like they were pretty well known in the Toronto area, but a lot of their social medias have been more or less wiped. They would post in bikinis or other slightly revealing outfits, the 3 of them. They're beautiful. I think a lot of people were intrigued by really pretty triplets who are also from a really, really well-off family. There are some re-uploaded lives that they've done where they answer people's questions. And honestly, Lucy, out of the entire 3, seems the most calm, or maybe even the most shy.
Really?
During these Instagram lives, she would be the quietest. And when she responds to questions, she's not joking around with her sister. She's not making fun. She's just kind of like, hee, yeah, oh yeah.
Can you tell them apart or?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I can. Yeah, but they look pretty identical.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Now, Caitlyn, one of the triplets, was actually one of the 44 finalists in the Canadian branch of the Miss World 2020 pageant. So all the triplets, they did pretty well for themselves. Now, side note, the triplets' mom, Winnie Lee, she is a strong presence in Canada. She's powerful. When Lucy's parents first immigrated from China to Canada, they did not have much in their name. But be that as it may, they go on to create a whole Chinese-Canadian empire. Her mom goes by the name Winnie, and she runs this financial management business. She manages rich people's money, and in return, she makes rich people money. She is described as high profile and powerful. According to Lucy, the main bread and butter of the business is her mom would sell these 20-year life insurance policies that would allow Chinese clients from China to transfer funds into Canada without being taxed.
Ah, I see.
Which I would say, is a little, I don't know if this is true. I don't know how sus it is. I don't know. It just sounds a little crazy when she says it like that. I would say there are pictures of her with Justin Trudeau. There's videos of her shaking hands with Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada. She's hanging out with China's General Counsel in Toronto. She's held several fundraisers for Trudeau, allegedly as part of this campaign that was run by Trudeau's political party to seek donations from the wealthy Chinese Canadians. It was a whole thing. And they're apparently not your average fundraiser. During one event, there were Cirque du Soleil members performing. I don't even know how big of a space you would need for performers of that caliber. They're not just doing somersaults in the same 3-foot radius over and over again. So these are massive fundraisers. There's videos of Trudeau bringing her flowers. She's translating for him. There's one source that even stated that she went on a trip to China with him, almost like a makeshift ambassador. So Winnie is not a woman who plays around, okay? She is not the type of woman to just let her children do whatever they want. Lucy describes her mom as a tiger mom. Her 3 girls, the triplets, they had founded Canada Youth Funding Association when they were just 13 years old. They had hopes of uniting all children to learn, grow, and experience. I don't know what they did, but that was the whole selling point.
The 3 triplets at 13-year-old founded a
foundation.
I see.
Mm-hmm. Lucy even has pictures next to Justin Trudeau at these fundraising events. I mean, her mom encouraged every single one of her kids to study business and even made a deal. She said, the first triplet to get licensed to sell life insurance for my company is going to be rewarded big time. It said every month she would host these little family dinners that feel more like company dinners, which is very reminiscent of LVMH, if you guys want me to talk about them one day. But if one of the family members makes a mistake, during that dinner, the whole family has the opportunity to comment on it, just publicly shame them. They can comment on whether or not it's mom's fault for not teaching them better, whether it's dad's fault for not foreseeing such an event, or if it's their fault for knowing not to do something and still doing it anyway. She says the 7 of us are like a company board of directors. Each of the 7 directors has a voice and can make decisions. Running a business and managing a family are quite similar.
我们把这个家当做一个合作社，经常我们会在一起开会，经常老大做错一件事情，我们就让其他的4个孩子来评论，到底是爸爸错了，妈妈错了，还是你错了。所以我觉得我们家里7个人就像一个公司的董事层面，7个董事，每个人都有说话权，每个人都可以做决定。
So clearly, her kids are doing very well. Winnie would even go on these panels to talk about parenting. During one speech, she is introduced, and this is what the host has to say about Winnie Lee. Every time she appears in public, she speaks quickly and decisively, giving the impression of a powerful woman. Nobody would guess that in her personal life, she is the mother of 5 children. Many people say a successful woman can't have a family. Successful women can't have kids. So often that now she proactively tells people that she has 5 children. Then everyone wants to know, what's your secret? Managing a thriving career while raising children. Winnie is clapped onto the stage and she says,
"Ladies and gentlemen, good evening."
"It is my 5 children that forced me to succeed." She says raising children is all about having them try to succeed on their own. She states that when the family was much younger, they would have these family trips planned, yearly family trips, and she would have each of the children plan out the entire trip, handle all the travel arrangements. Even if they saw a mistake in the works, the parents would see something bad was about to happen, they did not interfere. During one trip, she was talking about how she taught the kids to wake up on time. She says, for example, I always hear others say, "Oh, my child doesn't wake up even after being called so many times in the morning to get up." That does not happen in our family. I told my husband that on a trip, if we have a 6 a.m. flight and our child does not wake up, we will not wake them up. The whole family will not return home instead, and they will have to beg on the streets for food. And they said, "Mother, that is way too stressful. We will just wake up." They set their alarms and woke up the next morning at 4 a.m. In fact, they knocked on our door and said, "Mom and Dad, if you don't get up now, we're gonna miss our flight." It's all about cultivating leadership skills and independent thinking. Her husband says about Winnie, "Some say my wife is a powerful woman, but I think she is an excellent wife and the best mother." Winnie herself would tell her kids that this is a crucial time in their lives. They need to all grow up and become a powerful, successful woman just like their mother, aka herself. So since the day that Lucy turned 17, she has been working as a financial advisor for her mom's business, which I don't even trust most financial advisors, period. But a 17-year-old financial advisor is
crazy.
Is insane. Like, maybe she's just that smart. In 2019, Lucy decides, I might just try to figure out if this is what I really want in life. So she asks her mom if she can take some time to figure her life out. Paid, of course. A monthly allowance would be non-negotiable, of course. So that's what happens. For 2 years, the triplets go on to become Instagram famous. The Mia triplets, where they would model in lingerie or swimsuits together. They would make around $500 to $1,000 per sponsored post, which they said was not really money. It was just fun money. They like doing it more than anything, okay? One of the sponsors even sent her a free blonde wig that she really utilizes. Now, it appears her mom is very supportive. Lucy's mom would even go on to state this about Lucy, how her eldest was admitted into Harvard. Yes, the same one that the attorney called possibly the stupidest person on the planet. Lucy's mom says, when my daughter got admitted there, I found it particularly strange. Her grades were really poor when she was young, but it's about what label you give your children. Our eldest child is now succeeding at Harvard. I was very puzzled. I said, Lucy, why did mom think your grades were always not good when you were so young? Why is it that now at Harvard, a notoriously difficult school, you can get such good grades? She told me, Mom, growing up, you always told me that my grades are not good. So I always felt like the dumb one. I would just go to school and just sit there. Whatever. I'm stupid anyway. Why should I study? So I would sneak out and play, you know? And I told myself every day, I'm stupid. My daughter tells me, now this is what I want to tell others. Do not put a label on your children. She says that Lucy has now taken away that label and she wakes up every morning and says, I am smart. I am smart. And as a result, she's been studying. Her grades are good. The teachers have responded well, the professors. So I asked children, you are the best. Do not label yourself. Thank you. That's her speech. She forgets to mention that her daughter Lucy goes to the Harvard Extension program, which, okay, side note, I think any sort of education is an admirable thing. It does not matter. But it is a bit misleading that she talks about it in such a preachy way.
我跟我的 Lucy 也是我的大女儿，哈佛大学的高材生。
And again, this isn't even a point I would bring up, but she uses it to promote her businesses and to gain more influence in the area. See, look how incredible my children turned out. I'm very credible. It is at least a little bit misleading. Netizens have said about the Harvard Extension program, quote, "It's a bit embarrassing. It's a total waste of money. It looks tacky. It's the equivalent to taking one online continuing education class at Harvard and then listing it on your resume." Another one writes, "I'm a recruiter and 100% it does not hold the same weight as Harvard. It's the equivalent of having a degree from Grand Canyon University because almost anyone can get in as long as you pay for it." Again, any education is good education, but the way she's presenting it is goofy, okay? A lot of netizens point to the fact that there are actually really, really good extension programs out there. I think Georgia Tech has a good one, MIT has a good one, and they say that really people only choose the Harvard Extension School so that they can say Harvard. Like no other reason really. It's not the best program out there, especially for the amount of money it costs. They say it just doesn't look great. So in this context, it does feel a little bit misleading, but fine. The messaging at the entire speech is do not label your children. That's it, which is a good message. But the courts have already labeled Lucy as a killer. Lucy is brought into a small windowless room in Canada, the interrogation room, and she makes herself comfortable. I don't know if she asked for it. I don't know if they gave it to her. But you see her walk in. She's pretty smiley, and she's draping a police-issued blanket over her. Kind of like how I drape my scarf over me today. That's how the blanket is over her, but it's a full-size blanket.
What do you mean police issued? It has like police on there?
No, but it looks like they're handing it to her. I don't think they would let her just wear that. So she's draping it over herself. I feel like her energy is more on par with the demeanor of me going downstairs to watch Twilight. It's just very strange. And she just plops onto one of the chairs and she starts off by saying,
I feel really rude and I don't want to not seem like I don't want to cooperate, and if it was up to me I would just tell you guys everything, but my lawyer and my mom strongly instructed me not to say anything, and they said that they're on my defense while you guys are not on my defense. So I don't know, I just feel like I shouldn't say anything until I speak with them on Wednesday. I think they said that they're gonna come see me on Wednesday.
How old is she at that point?
25.
Oh, okay.
But she does ask the officer something along the lines of, but how do you decide who to believe?
Like, AKA, should I believe you guys? Or should I believe my mom and lawyers?
Yes, but also like, why don't you guys believe me? Like, are you guys gonna believe me if I tell you something? It's just so bizarre. This is where it all starts unraveling, and Lucy is gonna come full circle. December 9th, 2021, a man named Chin gets arrested for first-degree murder, for a murder that happened a few months ago, and Chin is so confused. Why is he being arrested? The police show him the picture of the victims, and he's even more confused now. He's like, I have never seen these people in my life, let alone murdered them. I don't know these people. I have no connection with these people. What are you talking about? I couldn't even point these people out on the street if you asked me to. The police don't believe him. They know he was there that day, okay? Months ago, a couple was found shot dead in a parking lot of a warehouse. The police were called to the scene where they found a man deceased on the floor with at least 6 gunshot wounds. Next to him was an airline ticket in his name and a torn $5 Canadian bill. On the other side of the parking lot was a single Christian Louboutin thigh-high boot. The deceased man's name is Tyler, and his girlfriend Jordan had been rushed to the hospital, but things weren't looking good. She had been shot in the heart. When the police start chasing all the possible leads, they find that a number was in the exact location as the couple during the shooting. Chin's. The cell records show that he was there. He was there the day that they were killed. And Chin is arguing with the police there was no way he was there that day. I mean, prove it. They whip out his cell records. He was in fact there. This is when Chin starts sharing this very wild story of how he has I have a friend named Oliver. Chin argues that he's known Oliver for what, like 10 years now? They worked at the same restaurant before they were friends. And when friends ask for weird favors, you do it. You don't ask questions. You just kind of do it. The odd favor that was asked of Chin is he needs to swap his SIM card with Oliver's wife, Lucy. Lucy said her family tracks each other's locations on her phone and they have this very important meeting and she didn't want her family to know about it. So she has to leave her phone at home, but without a phone, she can't really call in case of emergencies. So he needs to swap SIM cards with her. It's a huge ask. And the police are thinking, really now? I mean, this is very dumb, but Chin is passionately telling them, yes, it's weird, but he agreed to it because Lucy's family is rich and rich people do weird things. I mean, what's the worst that could have happened? Chin believed that Lucy would not do anything weird. Then he gets arrested for murder a few months later. He said later that night he met back up with them and swapped SIM cards again. Nothing seemed alarming. He would have never known that someone had died that night. When Oliver and Lucy are both finally arrested in Hungary, in Eastern Europe, Lucy responds, oh, the SIM cards and all of that. I have a perfectly reasonable answer to what I thought was going on. Suddenly, she's ready to talk. Lucy says she doesn't even know what they were doing at the warehouse that day. No clue why they were meeting these people. They're friends of Oliver's. Tyler and his pregnant girlfriend Jordan were there. They're not really her friends. So she wasn't that curious why they were at the back of this random warehouse. Lucy was with Oliver in their Audi Q5. The other couple, Tyler and Jordan, arrived in their Range Rover and all four of them walked out to the back door of the facility and it was locked. Because of course it was locked and they don't have the key. So it's a moment of confusion. But since it's February in Canada, Jordan says she's really cold. She's pregnant. She's going to get into her Range Rover and turn the heat on. Lucy joins her in the car. She gets into the Range Rover and the two of them are just sitting there. And Jordan asks her, hey, Lucy, where's your realtor? Lucy was like, I was so confused. Like, what do you mean my realtor? My realtor's not coming. Why would my realtor be coming here? Wait, what's going on? Lucy says she gets out the car to ask Oliver what the hell is going on because she thinks her husband is lying about something again. But when she walks up to him, Tyler is screaming at Oliver, demanding, where's the realtor? Where's your realtor? Oliver tells Lucy to check around the property to see if there's a lockbox. Lucy's confused, but she starts walking away. She says she's about a football field away and around the corner when she hears these pop noises. She doesn't realize what kind of pops they are. And she goes back to investigate because it was kind of loud. And she sees Tyler on the ground. But she's not wearing her glasses, so she doesn't know why he's on the ground. She just thought, like, that's weird. Yeah. And Oliver screams at her to get into the Audi. She's about to get in when she sees Jordan in the front seat of the Range Rover trying to back up, reversing straight into the building. It's chaotic. And Lucy freezes because it looks like Jordan is looking for something in the car. I don't know what she's looking for. Finally, after what feels like forever, she snaps out of it and realizes that Oliver is screaming at her, you're everything up. Listen to me. Get in the car. She finally jumps into the Audi. And that's about it. It's just very traumatizing.
Wait. Jordan was backing up a car?
In the Range Rover.
Okay, and then what happened?
And then they just drove off in the Audi. And then she just thought it was weird and she thinks later Oliver went back. I don't know. She's saying it was just weird. It was traumatizing. Her belief in that moment was that Oliver had run Tyler over, probably by accident. Oliver kept bossing her around, telling her that she needs to take the stairs up to their apartment now and not take the elevator because of the cameras. But she's so exhausted and she's terrified. They also live on the 34th floor. She remembers, so she's like, I'm not doing that. She says she just remembers squatting down in the middle of the stairwell, sobbing because she's so confused and scared and traumatized. And why is she walking up 34 flights of stairs? That night, Lucy says there was no way she could fall asleep. It was just a lot. She checks the clock. It's 2 a.m. and she gets on her phone and she reads an article about a shooting that said a man and a woman were shot. That was the first moment she realized that someone was injured and she didn't even know it was a shooting until now. She shakes Oliver up, shoves the article in his face, and she keeps asking Oliver, what happened? What happened? She says, he said it was him or me. He's saying he saved my life because they wanted to kill us. He's saying Tyler's gang are gonna come after us. In fact, Oliver tells her that he basically just saved both of them, so now they gotta go. They gotta leave. So they gotta go on the run. It's not safe here. Tyler's gang is gonna come after them now. Hurry, we gotta go. They leave the apartment. They drive in her Mercedes. They have no plan. They barely have time to pack anything. She leaves empty-handed. He stuffs a backpack with their passports and about $17,000 in cash. Other than that, nothing. They drive until they run out of gas. They end up at the general store. They toss everything in that restroom. They leave the Mercedes in the parking lot nearby, like a nearby little side parking lot. And then they take a taxi back to Toronto. From there, they take a train to Montreal, but they're running late, so the taxi driver is like, I'll just take you there to the airport. They pay $400 in cash. Then they board a flight directly to Europe. First, they land in Germany. Then they catch a connecting flight to the Czech Republic, where they meet up with a guy named Martin. This is what Lucy's saying. She's like, I don't know Martin. Lucy's never met this guy in her life. This is supposedly one of Oliver's European business partners, but that means nothing to her right now. She said she was just so scared out of her mind at this point. She even told her mom and sisters to leave at the house in the middle of the night. Just leave your things, go, go, go. She was terrified that Tyler's gang was going to come after her family and everybody that they love.
She's telling her family to flee?
Yes.
Wow.
Because the gang is very dangerous, she said. Now, side note, because some reports state that while she's basically a fugitive running from the law in Eastern Europe, her family members are sending her hundreds of thousands of dollars. So they must believe her story. Now, regardless, they spend a few nights in the country before traveling to Slovakia. Oliver's dad picks him up from the airport, and that night she remembers waking up in the middle of the night from frantic calls from her sisters saying, "There's arrest warrants out for you and Oliver." Lucy and Oliver wake up Oliver's dad, who tells them, you need to leave. This is the first place they will be looking for you. You need to go. Lucy does just that. I mean, she's terrified. She said, I'm just in shock at this point. I never thought I'd be charged with a crime. She keeps asking Oliver what the hell happened because it's just not adding up, but he refuses to respond. He just keeps saying self-defense. It was me or him. They get into Oliver's dad's work truck. Lucy's Chinese. They're in Slovakia. She sticks out like a sore thumb, so she's hiding in the back truck. I mean, they basically have to hide away in an apartment that belongs to Oliver's dad's friend. She said she called her mom right away, and her mom is hysterical, screaming, and Lucy is hysterically crying into the phone. Lucy's mom is demanding Lucy come home right away. They can talk to some lawyers about talking to the police and explain everything that happened. But of course, that's not a plan that Oliver liked. That's what Lucy says. He refused. He did not want to turn himself in. It's not even an option here.
Lucy's mom, they're still in Canada.
Yes.
They did not flee the country.
No. They're like, you need to come here and you can explain this to the police. The next morning, she wakes up to Oliver speaking to these two guys. Who are they? She's told that they're part of Europol police. European Interpol, basically. And they have cars with diplomatic plates. Were Paul and Milo. She said those were their names. Lucy couldn't understand a single thing they were saying, but Oliver was translating for her. And Oliver is telling her, you think Tyler being dead means we're safe? No, you don't even know how dangerous this guy is. My dad had to get the European police to get involved. That cost just over $250,000. And we might need to transfer more money. They're trying to save us. They're going to help us not get caught because they understand how corrupt the Canadian justice system is. So we're going to stay with Paul and Milo in his apartment. Now, on a few conditions. We don't get to have access to our phones. We will get fake passports, which is the only way we can travel now. And we will only be driven around in these military-looking vehicles with diplomatic tags, and they're going to drive us into a safe house in Hungary. And that's where we're going to be. This is how they live for the next 2 months. It's not until May 15th, Lucy says she gets her phone back and discovers that the international warrant against them is gone. She doesn't see anything else about it now, which means she can go apply for a Canadian passport so she can go back to Canada. The Canadian authorities, unbeknownst to her, are already waiting in Budapest for her. They've been tracking her through Interpol, and now she's just revealed herself. The two are arrested immediately outside of a church, but they weren't actually going to church. It's like a busy street in Budapest that's known for their wild nightlife, so they were likely going out for the night. And Lucy decides to immediately head back to Canada with authorities. She's like, my mom can send us a private jet. And they're like, no, we're going to fly economy. And she's like, oh my God, I've never flown economy. She's like, I only fly first or private, basically, is what she said. Maybe not verbatim, don't sue me, but the gist. Yeah, the gist.
The priorities.
Yeah. So she goes back to Canada with authorities while Oliver decides to stay and tries to fight extradition. This is the story of how Canada's most politically well-connected family's daughter ends up as an international fugitive. I mean, it's just wild. So one of the more annoying parts of all of this is Lucy states in her whole version, first version, is that she wasn't even supposed to be there that night. She had dinner planned at her mom's house, but she only agreed to go with Oliver to that stupid warehouse because he asked her to drive her that night, and Oliver told her to do this weird thing, very weird thing, and she just went with it, which was to switch SIM cards with a friend of his named Chen. You know, so she kept her device. But if you called Lucy that night, it would ring in her apartment on Chen's phone. And if you called Chen, it would ring on Lucy's phone. Lucy thought it was strange, but she didn't think it was strange enough to question it further. Or I don't know, not do it at all. So she swaps SIM cards with him, and Oliver fully leaves his phone at the apartment and they leave. I mean, to be honest, she mainly went with him after their fight because she wanted to make sure that Oliver wasn't going to cheat on her. That's why she ended up at that warehouse. It's kind of an unbelievable story, right? Maybe, perhaps. I mean, a few things definitely don't add up with what the police found at the crime scene. A lot of things don't add up at all, and some parts of the story just don't make any sense. It's just nonsensical. But who's gonna argue her story? Both victims have been shot. Oliver's not opening up. In fact, he's fighting with every random excuse in the book to not leave Eastern Europe, and it's just Lucy, the credible daughter of a wealthy business tycoon in Canada who has millions of dollars at their disposal to hire the best defense. Who's gonna tell them that this story isn't true? Regardless, the truth of the matter is Tyler was shot 6 times. He was murdered. Jordan was shot 3 times. Only 1 bullet hit her, but it went into her heart. She was supposed to die that day, but she didn't. After spending 3 days in a coma and a bullet taken out of her chest, Jordan wakes up. And she's got a lot to say, mainly that Lucy is a big phony liar. She states that she remembers everything that happened that night very clearly. 3 days ago, February 28th, 2021, Jordan remembers showing up to the warehouse with her boyfriend Tyler. They, Tyler and Jordan, were going to meet with this couple, Oliver and Lucy, where they were going to see if this warehouse was a good fit for a business opportunity, to rent it and use it as a marijuana growing operation. But when they get there, the realtor isn't there and all the doors are locked, which is very annoying. They have to wait for the realtor now in the cold. Tyler and Jordan get into the Range Rover to wait. They turn on the heat. Jordan is in the passenger side. Tyler, her boyfriend, is on the driver's side, turns on the car for her. And then he waves over Lucy and is like, hey, come sit down, it's cold. So Lucy slides into the driver's side. Jordan says Lucy won't even look at her. She's just on her phone. She's texting, but she's acting very nervous. It's like the lack of eye contact is a little bit strange. It's not even like she's distracted or just bored. It's like she can't even look at her. Jordan tries to make some light talk. How's your weekend? Good, fine. What did you do? Nothing, we drank on Thursday. Then Lucy just states, oh my god, you're dressed so pretty and I'm dressed like a bum. Which, you know, now that she says it, it is weird. Jordan is thinking Lucy told them that they have dinner reservations after this warehouse for 4 at this fancy restaurant. So yeah, now that she brings it up, she is severely underdressed for that. But Jordan is polite. She doesn't say anything. Jordan just says, but when she comes into the car, she just can't look at me, which I thought was strange. Eventually, she gets out of the car, and now my car turned off because the driver's side door had closed. So I guess the car thought it was off, or that everybody had left. So she slides. She doesn't exit the car. She just slides over from the passenger seat to the driver's seat while being inside and turns the car back on. She said that's when she looks up at the side, and at the passenger side window where she had just been sitting, Oliver is standing there, glaring at her, pointing a gun at her. And she said, I couldn't move, I couldn't talk, my mouth was wide open, he's pointing a gun at me, he was shaking and his eyes were bulging, and then he says, get out of here, Joe. But I guess he doesn't give her the chance to do that because the last thing she remembers is gunshots going off. Jordan said she heard Tyler's last words, and Tyler had said, Oliver, what the bro? So Oliver had shot Tyler. Jordan's first instinct is to put the car in reverse to try and get out of there, but as she's flooring it, she hears multiple gunshots additionally go off. She had been shot. The car slams into the warehouse, reverses. There are clear holes in her memory from the trauma, but she does remember seeing Oliver dragging her out of the car and throwing her onto the cold floor. And they both drove off. They drove off in the Audi and the Range Rover that was Jordan and Tyler's car. And then she just remembers crawling on the road on her hands and knees, asking for anyone. Is there anyone to save her?
She's still conscious.
Yes, and she had been shot literally in the chest. Yeah, and she says it took an hour And then finally, she just heard a woman, and her voice kept saying, "Hang in there, sweetie, hang in there." That woman was Annette Bright. The woman had been driving down the road with her boyfriend when she saw what looked like a mangled animal on the side of the road with blood. She just kept driving, but something in her told her, just U-turn. If it's an animal, fine. You can call animal control. If it's something else, it just would keep her up at night. So she U-turned, and what do you know? It's not an animal. It's a woman on the road crawling. She parks the car, lunges out. What happened? What's wrong? And she just keeps saying, "Help me, please. I've been shot." She could see Jordan is getting paler by the second. Annette's boyfriend is already calling 911. The woman on the floor keeps talking, but the only thing Annette could understand is, "Help me, help me." And then she faded out into a coma that doctors were feeling very pessimistic about, that she would never wake up again. The worst part of Jordan's story is that while she was crawling down the long driveway of the warehouse to get help, she could see her Range Rover driving back and forth on the main road with her attempted killers scanning, hunting. So it's presumed that they came back and she was gone. Jordan is gone. So they're like, how is she gone? We shot her. How is she not dead? So I think she had crawled into the bushes, and she just remembers seeing them driving around looking for her, practically hunting her. She also said that she could hear them fighting and arguing. She could hear one of them saying that, "No, for sure she's dead." And the other one said, "Well, we just need to make sure."
Wow.
After about an hour, they leave without finding Jordan, and that is how she's able to get help. Which, who is Jordan, and why would someone even want her dead? Why would someone kill her boyfriend, the father of her unborn child, Tyler? Tyler can make up to $1 million a day, running what seems to be a cocaine empire. I mean, I don't know if empire is the right word, but $1 million a day, that's not a side job. That's corporate monopoly level money. Jordan says Tyler was not a, quote, street level dealer. He would help import cocaine into Canada and sold it to other dealers. So he's at the top of the food chain, if you will. But she says they weren't in as dangerous of a position as the street level dealers because one of them had been killed once, but Tyler doesn't really have enemies. He's just overseeing and profiting and helping smuggle in the cocaine. Side note, a quick disclaimer, Tyler is a murder victim and absolutely nobody should be murdered. I think that much is very clear, but it would be a bit strange for me to not address the fact that his occupation is likely indirectly harming a lot of people. So it's just very tricky. Now, Tyler was trying to get out of this underworld business. He keeps trying to use his funds to create legitimate, hopefully tax-paying businesses, a diamond company called Hard as Diamonds, as well as a wellness weight loss supplement brand called Elite Organic Nutrition. Jordan would say he just wanted out of the cocaine life. We wanted to have a family and be normal and escape that negativity. He just wanted to be a more legitimate businessman, especially since he has 3 children that are growing older, and Jordan, his longtime girlfriend, the one who was shot, is pregnant with his 4th child. She's 14 weeks pregnant. So a more legitimate business would provide a sense of security for everybody. Now, Tyler and Jordan have a friend who introduced them to a guy named Oliver Knox. This rich kid with rich parents, but his parents are also very powerfully well connected in Europe, was the story that they were told. And he has all these businesses that integrate European contacts with Canadian contacts. And this is during the pandemic. So Oliver's new business plan is they know people in Europe who sell hospital gowns, syringes, and face masks, mark up the price by a ton. That's how they describe it, since hospitals need it right now, and it's just printing money in Europe. They're just printing money. They have a factory in Europe that makes it, then they sell it to the European hospitals. Mm-hmm. And they're looking for investors.
Like medical...
yes.
Yeah.
Tyler and Jordan invest at first $170,000, which is a lot. But eventually, in total, they invest about $500,000. Crazy. Now, Jordan says, we were expecting millions in dollars of profit. After our initial investment, we put in the 170, then another 300 to get more trucks so the money would come in faster. We wanted to roll the money. which looked very feasible. Their share of the profits would be close to $3 million. Now, this is the part that they're struggling with, is bringing that money in from Europe to Canada without raising a bunch of red flags. Because once you bring that kind of money in, first of all, it's difficult to transfer that amount. But secondly, once you bring that into Canada, it's going to be heavily taxed. And third, once they tax it, they might be like, how'd you get this money? You explain, oh, I invested in this mask business. How much did you invest? $500,000. How did you even get $500,000 when your tax returns show that you don't make any money because they're not making legitimate income? It's not an easy transfer. So the day of the shooting, the couple were going to meet Oliver and Lucy at the warehouse, and Oliver had this new business plan, find a warehouse. Lucy would be perfect. Her mom has lots of connections, and they own lots of warehouses, and they have powerful realtors that can get them a good deal. Then they start a legal marijuana growing operation. And from there, I'm sure that Tyler can get more of his money out. Maybe he'll get more of the profits of that, and Oliver and Lucy will take the European profits because it's easier for them to get the money into Canada. You know, that's why they showed up to this empty, abandoned warehouse in the middle of this industrial street. But the problem is, Oliver has no plans to pay the couple back, let alone give them a share of their profits. In fact, Oliver Knox is not Oliver Knox. His name is Oliver Carafa, and he's already killed someone before.
What?
Oliver tells lots of lies. The first about being the mask business. It's unclear whether or not Oliver himself is in the mask business or if the entire thing is also a lie. But one thing is for sure, he's not giving Tyler his money back. He starts making up all these excuses on why they can't get the money back. And every question Tyler has, there's a long-winded explanation, long-winded excuse. Even the meetup at the warehouse, not real. To lure Tyler and Jordan out, where Oliver shoots them both and goes on the run with his wife, Lucy. They flee the scene within 48 hours there in Europe on the run as international fugitives. They are not located for 3 months. When Lucy finally comes back home, Oliver does not. Yeah. When they're both arrested in Hungary, Lucy comes back immediately. She does have to fly commercial, but nevertheless, she comes back to Canada. Oliver does something fascinating. He files a petition with the courts in Hungary stating that if he goes back to Canada, because the Toronto police are so corrupt, there will be no way he will get a fair trial. They will do something shady. He argues to Hungary. His life is on the line. Oliver Carafa has no plans on going back. He even hires PIs to look into Tyler Pratt to show the Hungarians, like, hey, look, there's a lot of drug dealing going on in Canada and they're going to kill me. The gangs are going to kill me in the prison. You don't know the prisons in Canada. Yeah, he says, because of his extensive criminal connections and his associates want to avenge his death, my life is in danger. He alleges he will never get a fair trial. Hungarian authorities relay back. Criminal relationships are not bound by national borders, which means that the accused would not be safe in practically any country in the world. The court therefore establishes correctly and lawfully that the conditions of the extradition have been met and orders the arrest for surrender of the accused. AKA, he's gonna get extradited. But then he tries to stop that. And he's like, Slovakia, my home country, can you please try and help me? But that doesn't work either. 8 months later, he's sit in economy with Canadian officials. It's likely that his whole plan to stay in Europe was not because he truly believed the Canadian justice system is corrupt. I mean, how could he? He got 5 years for killing someone before. We're gonna get there. But allegedly, it's been said that he believes Hungary would have been an easier place to bribe corrupt officials. And Canada is harder. Lucy did not care. She did not like the prisons there. Her mom does a press release when she's back to Canada, and her press release is the family is shocked, disturbed, and puzzled by Lucy's involvement in the tragic incident. They state that they are sure that Lucy would not be involved in such an incident voluntarily and would not do such a ridiculous thing. They say, we can hardly imagine the shock and anxiety Lucy experienced after the incident. They beg Lucy to cooperate with the authorities. Which, yes.
So Oliver killed Tyler because of money?
Yes.
But Lucy is rich?
Yes. That's also her defense. So now we're trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Is she involved? Is she not involved? Right? Now, side note, Lucy talks about her time in a Hungarian prison while waiting to be extradited. She said every single day she was only given 5 slices of bread and 5 cigarettes. No other food. She said everything cost money there, even sanitary products, and she didn't have money to be put into her account. Now, I don't know how Canadian jails compare, but she's not someone that's going to withstand any sort of prison because she does make Canadian bail somehow. The bail conditions are probably the most rigorous I've seen. The conditions are this. Lucy will be allowed on bail for $2.7 million. Her bail is paid out $2 million by her mom, $200,000 by her friend, and another $500,000 by another second friend. Now, I thought that was weird because first of all, that is very crazy for a friend to put up that kind of money. Now, another thing is, why wouldn't her mom just pay it all if they're so wealthy? There's a reason, because under the rigorous bail agreement, Lucy has to be under watch 24/7 by whoever has participated in putting up her bail. They practically become her guardians. If she has to go to the doctor's appointment, it has to be with one of her 3 guardians. She cannot have friends over, but she can have her 3 guardians over.
Wow.
She cannot go to social engagements, but she can stay with her guardians 24/7 and hang out with them. So it's likely her mom didn't want to babysit her the whole time and Lucy wants to be with her friends. One of them even moved into the family home to, quote, watch over Lucy. In addition to those rules, Lucy has to wear a GPS tracker at all times. She cannot have any visitors in the house other than immediate family. She can leave her house for exercise with her ankle monitor on, but she can only go within a 1-mile radius of the house at all times and only for up to an hour per day. The only time she can go further from a mile is when she has a court-approved medical appointment or to see her attorneys. That is it. She cannot even use the cell phone. She cannot use the internet without supervision from one of her guardians. And lastly, she cannot apply for a new passport, which honestly doesn't sound so bad when you're quarantining in your parents' likely multi-million-dollar estate with your 2 besties, but she still breaks bail. Because before the trial starts, it stated that she went to a party. She was rearrested and then re-released on bail again. But
with her ankle monitor, she went to a party?
Yeah.
Wow.
The trial is going to be a joint trial with both Oliver and Lucy on trial for murder and attempted murder. And so there's 3 arguments, one from Lucy and her team, one from Oliver, and one from the prosecutors in Jordan. Now, Lucy gets a high-profile defense attorney. The Oliver's defense attorney, he's a really good defense attorney, allegedly, for getting drug dealers off, but not for murder. So it seems like he's way less high-profile. And Lucy's family did not pay for his attorney or anything. So there's a lot of speculations by netizens that if they had the same attorney and had they stuck with the same story, they might have gotten less time. Yeah, so you got the 3 stories from the prosecutor in Jordan and then the 2 other lovebirds that are no longer lovebirds, it seems. Now, Lucy's story changes multiple times, which is not the best look. The first time she shares her version of events, she states that a random stranger, a third party, showed up and shot the couple. It was crazy. It was probably one of Tyler's enemies. Then she later changes the story to say that, no, you're right. Oliver was the shooter. But I had no idea that it was going to happen. I thought he ran Tyler over. It was crazy. And then she says that she was forced to write the initial confession that an unknown man had shot the couple by Oliver, by her husband. He was like, you better write this. She states about her husband, his business wasn't going as planned. He decided it would be best to kill Jordan and Tyler before they found out and tried to kill him or someone he loved instead. Sort of like a pre-planned self-defense that she had no idea about, which also just pre-planned self-defense is the most unhinged defense. I don't know. She said by that point, he had told her all of that. She didn't even know that Tyler had invested in Oliver's PPE mask business. She said she knew nothing about Tyler and Jordan. In fact, she would never want to do business with them because they're not, quote, presentable people. She claims Tyler is very, very terrifying. He was not happy that he's not getting his money back. She said Tyler was violent with Oliver, punching and abusing him. He would allegedly threaten him. If you want to turn me into the police, I have friends in the police. Before I even get booked within 48 hours, I'll have the Somalians kill everyone you love. During the initial interrogation, she's asked, so right off the bat, you're not impressed by Tyler?
Right off the bat, I say do not associate with these people because they're not good for our social image, and because she's a known Hamilton stripper, and Tyler is known in Vancouver as a scary gang member, according to some mutual friends that I knew.
This is during interrogation?
Yes. Furthermore, she states that Tyler had this big business idea that he was trying to rope them into, which they would bring girls in from the Czech Republic to Toronto and Vancouver to get into the escorting business, which, for lack of a better words, she believes sounds precisely like human trafficking. Now, we don't know if this conversation even ever took place, but that is her claim. She said that she would even get into fights with Oliver about how much she doesn't like this couple. She said, I really didn't want Oliver to be associated with them. He knew my opinion and started not telling me when he was going to meet with them. He would downplay their communications. She further alleges that Tyler and Jordan have ties to the Wolf Pack, which is a big gang in the area. And when everything went down, she felt like it was an I told you so moment. She testifies later during the trial. Tyler is very, very scary and very aggressive. He scared me. He's a very big man and very scary.
I'm so sorry. What is a I told you so moment? The murder?
Yeah, like telling Oliver I told you not to interact with these types of people. Yeah.
Like this will happen if you keep murder is going to happen.
It's just
like, what?
Her energy throughout all of this is on par with someone maybe getting into an argument.
She's so detached from the real world is
yes.
feeling. It feels like maybe she growing up, she has never faced any consequences.
Yeah.
So her attitude is literally this lighthearted.
And I think the way she speaks about all these things that happened, it's almost this very firm, I don't know where it comes from, belief that everyone's just going to believe her and be on her side.
Right.
Like everyone's on her side. I told them, don't you agree? It's kind of that attitude is the vibe.
Wow.
And the prosecutors are not on her side. They ask her on the stand, you've been telling us how dangerous you thought it was being around Tyler and his gang connections, his drug dealing. But given that fear, you invited him into your family home? Well, it's not as high risk as being seen with them in public. She thought seeing Tyler and Jordan was worth the risk if the business would turn out well for Oliver. But now in hindsight, she says, quote, I guess I made a mistake. The prosecutors ask her, 3 days before the murder of Tyler Pratt and attempted murder of Jordan Romano, you were part of a plan to kill them, weren't you? No, I was not. What you are saying is ridiculous. It's hard to imagine doing something more despicable to a pregnant woman, correct? Correct. You lied to her face, correct? Correct. The prosecutors tell her, the only pattern that has emerged is your ability to lie and deceive and be dishonest. This was a carefully planned murder. Not correct. She states, these people were dangerous. They were trying to kill us or something like that. I agree that there was a murder plan, but I don't agree that I was part of this plan. You don't have a moral compass. Incorrect. I think my moral compass is not right, but I'm not okay with breaking the law and committing crimes, and most importantly, I would never be okay with a plan to commit murder. Her attorney argues the motive for the murder at the end was money, but her attorney argues Lucy did not need money. She comes from a rich family. This is Oliver's problem. This is not Lucy's issue, which is just another way to say your client is broke and mine is not. But does it actually prove anything? She also states about the PPE business, the mask making factory in Europe during the interrogation. I have no idea about any of that because Oliver and my relationship, he deals with the finances and the business, and he doesn't really... I mean, he tells me the gist of things, but he never really tells me the figures, what he's doing. And it's always been like that since me and Oliver's been dating. We've been together almost 3 years, but we knew each other since high school. She also argues that she does not have the best relationship with Oliver. Honestly, it was toxic. She says, I was practically his chauffeur.
How long they've been married?
At this point, about a year and some change. The way they got married... Okay, so 2020, the pandemic hits. 2 months after the whole world goes into lockdown. Eastern Europe is in lockdown. They're like, you know what? I don't like being at home. Let's go to Europe and have some fun. So they're trying to fly into Europe, and Europe is like, no, we are not accepting anyone who does not have a reason to be in Europe. However, Oliver can go because he's a dual citizen. He's Slovakian and Canadian citizenship, right? But Lucy is just Canadian citizenship. So they say, the only way that you'd be able to get into Europe right now is if you guys were married. Then because he can go, he can bring his wife, obviously. So in the airport, they apply for a marriage license. They get a Zoom call with an officiant, get married so they can board their flight to a fun European trip while everybody else is fighting for their lives and people are dying.
That is wild.
Yeah. Lucy is also asked why she wore a blonde wig on the way to commit murder. This was very clearly an attempt to conceal her identity in the elevator to throw investigators off because she swapped her SIM card to make the SIM card look like she was at home. Then the elevator footage does not show Lucy going down to the parking lot, it shows a blonde woman going down to the parking lot. So she could argue, what do you mean? You don't see me leaving the apartment. My phone records are in the apartment. I was in the apartment the whole time. That's what the prosecution's arguing. And Lucy is like, that is ridiculous. The truth is, the wig was from a brand deal that she got on Instagram. So this company sent her a blonde wig, and she would wear it while she had intimate relations with Oliver at times. But she got into this huge fight with Oliver the day of the shooting because she felt like Oliver was always cheating on her. And when she had seen it out and about, not tucked away, not packed, when she saw it out and about, she just assumed that he was going to bring this wig to go cheat on her and have another woman wear the wig because he's got like a fetish for these wigs. Is what she's claiming. So she's like whipping the wig around, asking him what the hell, but he argues with her like, she's always crazy. You're always making up stuff. She loses it, completely loses her marbles, throws on the blonde wig. She's like, yeah, you like blondes? I don't know. Okay. But she like puts it on. So I'm assuming that's what she's claiming her energy is, and leaves. Kind of like, oh yeah? How's this?
Is she leaving by herself?
Yeah. Oliver takes the stairs down 35 flights. 34 flights.
How did she explain his behavior walking 34 flights?
She said, I don't know, he's weird. Everything is like, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know anything about him. He's weird.
So when she's walking into the elevator, you saw the footage,
yes.
right? Like, was she hiding? Can you see her face? Or
you cannot see her face. She's wearing the blonde wig. She has a hood pulled over her head. She's on her phone, and it's just weird.
Like she's like hiding her face, right?
Yes. And I imagine if I were ever in this bizarre, likely untrue situation where we got into a fight and I wore a blonde wig into the elevator, I would snatch it right off when I got in there because I'm angry. I'm like huffing and puffing, but she's just like, her body is tight. Her arms are close to her chest.
Yeah.
And she's just standing there in the corner looking down.
Wow.
She said that she was expecting him to chase her into the elevator, but he did not. That's the story that she's trying to sell. Yeah. I mean, later she changes the story and she's like, okay, fine. I put on the blonde wig because Oliver told me to do. And I just did what he told me to do. Yeah.
And you're saying all of this is under the guidance of the famous attorney?
Yes. So there is an allegation or rumors out there by netizens that sometimes rich clients are the worst because they never listen to you. They think they're smarter than you. She should have just not said anything.
I see.
Likely.
Yeah.
I have a feeling she wasn't listening to her attorney's advice.
Yeah, because she was asking like, who should I trust?
Yes. And then even...
My attorney told me not to talk to you, but I'm here telling you what they told me not to say.
And she just... Yeah, she would always like stop herself and then be asked a question and then she would kind of talk and then stop herself. Yeah.
Wow.
Even all the different houses they stayed in Europe, in Eastern Europe, she said she thought that these were all police who were helping hide them because, I mean, it's like she's on some sort of crime thriller series getting moved around from safe house to safe house in a global network of safe houses to shield her from, I don't know what. It's a very odd story that she's selling. And Lucy does try to make up for all of it by stating, yeah, maybe I'm just dumb. Yeah. Her attorney continues, Lucy is one of the many victims in this case, betrayed by her husband, Oliver. Oliver is the type of guy that takes her to a murder, takes his wife to a murder he knew obviously he was going to commit. Lucy finally developed a bit of a backbone after spending years being Oliver's doormat. Oliver has had far too many victims in his life, including among the many victims is Lucy. I ask you not to let him take one more down. Oliver's attorney has a different strategy. While Lucy can blame everything on Oliver since he was the one that pulled the trigger, Oliver's defense has to be a bit more creative. They say, we do not dispute in any way that he pulled the trigger on the gun that shot Tyler Pratt and Jordan Romano, aka he did shoot them. He killed Tyler, but the defense attorney argues this is not first-degree murder. What Oliver did should be considered second-degree murder. He just wanted to, quote, tame a violent, angry, volatile, muscular, international drug dealer. He argued that Tyler had threatened to break his legs if he didn't get his money back and more ASAP. And their whole defense relies on the fact that Tyler is this big, scary guy and Oliver was too dumb and too scared, so he killed him. They say the shooting is so poorly orchestrated, it doesn't meet the threshold for first-degree murder. The defense attorney basically states, riddle me this. If what seems at first glance to be a plan so badly thought out that it falls apart because so many obvious things were not considered, that indicates there was no plan to begin with. The attorney argues that one of Tyler's close acquaintances had recently been gunned down in Vancouver. They also state that Jordan and Tyler had gotten into an explosive fight 5 months into their relationship, where the attorney alleges that Jordan allegedly told others that Tyler had physically harmed her. So they're just trying to paint the victims in this horrible light the whole time. They say, and Jordan even said, Oliver told her, get out of here, Joe, moments before shooting her. So clearly he didn't want to shoot her. It's just, these attorneys are doing weird stuff. And why? Instead of killing them right away, why would they wait 30 minutes? Why would they spend 30 minutes with them at the warehouse before the shooting? His attorney states about his wife and her defense team. You know, throughout this trial, Lucy and her team have attempted to do everything they can to demonize Oliver in your eyes, to make you hate him. It has been relentless. To which Lucy's attorneys have stated, yeah, he does not need any help in that department. Yeah. All of his attorneys asked Lucy why she didn't just tell this version of events when she had that interrogation with the authorities. And they say, here's why you didn't, Lucy. You wanted some time to make up a story. It's taken you 3 years to make up a story. Because the trial happened 3 years later. But if it is true, let's entertain the idea that Lucy's newest version of events is true. Oliver's defense wonders, why would she stay with Oliver in Europe throughout all of this then? The state argues there's no way you can look at this and see something other than a more planned murder. The plan isn't smart. No one said you have to be a smart killer, but you are a killer at the end of the day. This is an outright execution. They swapped SIM cards. They wore a wig. They took the stairs to make it seem like they never left their apartment. They actually purchased a new car. The Audi Q5 was purchased a week before, and they didn't change the license plates. So when they found the Audi Q5 later, the authorities, it got traced back to the original owner. And they were like, you are doing something suspicious. And she's like, well, no, I just sold the car. Then they tried to sell the Audi, but they didn't, along with the Range Rover. And once they realized that Jordan is still alive, they fled the country. Just to add to their cruelty, they state that Lucy and Oliver stole $20,000 in cash after killing them as well. So from the crime scene, they took $20,000 from Tyler's car. Additionally, it's very clear that Tyler wanted his money back, but not in an aggressive way. They state that Tyler was having cash flow problems because a cocaine shipment was seized at the border. So Lucy had to write them a $1 million check from her mom's account and said she's so rich, she won't even notice the money is gone. But they had no plans of getting that check cashed.
Who has no plan?
Lucy and Oliver is what the prosecution's arguing. Like, they have no plans. Like, they're not going to let Tyler and Jordan even have the chance to cash that check because they're going to kill them. It's just to buy a tiny bit of time.
I see. Okay, got it.
So they're like, okay, fine. Like, all that money that you invested is tied up in Europe, so here's $1 million. Yeah. The Crown says, honestly, Lucy is a big freaking liar. They tried to go through every single thing she lies about, but it's a lot. So for example, at one point said she had no clue her SIM card had even been swapped. Unbeknownst to her, she just took her phone and left the house. Turns out her SIM card had been swapped. Yeah, but then they found text messages between Oliver and Lucy a few days before the murder, and they're texting about Chin. Oliver texts him, Chin said he can lend me his son, which sounds like an autocorrect for Sim. And that was 3 full days before the murder, to which Lucy argues it's an inside joke. Son is a nickname that they have for another friend who was supposed to drive him to the meeting that day. Which the prosecutors tell the jury is, quote, an elaborate story that's quite ridiculous. You don't have to be the world's greatest detective to figure this out. 2 days before the shooting, there are messages between Oliver and Lucy where Oliver says, I hope those R words have money. They find it chilling that the day of the murder, the two of them are seen in the apartment elevator together, acting like nothing's gonna happen. They're like playfully pinching each other's cheeks. One big evidence of premeditation is Oliver tries to sell the Audi and Jordan's Range Rover weeks before killing them. Like, imagine trying to sell a random acquaintance's car without their permission.
Yeah, I think you're done.
You're done. Like, what would be the reason for that? The prosecutors argue, what other possible reason could you have on planning to sell Jordan's luxury Range Rover that she had no intention of getting rid of unless you believe she wasn't going to be around to have a say?
I mean, that also just shows they're genuinely not smart. Like,
no.
They planned the killing and they are genuinely that dumb.
Yeah, because their defense is like, no, they're so dumb. There's no way they planned it like this. But it's, no, I think they're so dumb that they did plan it like this.
Yeah.
It's just evil. Like, they're dumb and evil.
Yeah.
And that's a very scary combination. Lucy testifies during the trial that the prosecutors had stated she planned and deliberated what would have been a double murder. And she responds, I mean, that's ridiculous because I would never kill anybody. I would never be part of a plan to kill anybody. I would never be okay with a plan to kill anybody. If I had known, I would have put a stop to it. I married a man who shot not just a woman, but a pregnant woman as well as another guy. And I missed so many red flags and I continue to be in love with him. And I really feel like an idiot right now. She states throughout the trial that she was on the other side of the warehouse when it happened and she didn't know anyone had been shot. Yeah, except Jordan testifies. No, she wasn't. She was standing right there in front of the car when the shooting happened. I'm in the driver's seat. I couldn't talk. I couldn't move. And Oliver is staring at me. The prosecutors ask Lucy about this. And they say, what Jordan said is the truth. And you know it's the truth, don't you? No, I don't. Furthermore, a detail that prosecutors find interesting is a week prior to the crime, the couple purchased that Audi, right? Mm-hmm. And that was using Lucy's money. She purchases the Audi for Oliver. But get this, Oliver does not have a license. So why would she buy him a random Audi conveniently a week before the crime when he's not allowed to drive? He doesn't have a license. Mm. It doesn't make any sense. Side note, he can't drive because a while back when Oliver was 19 years old, he was drunk driving and this personal trainer of his named David Chang was in the passenger side. He was going double the speed limit, crashed the car, David Chang died. So he was sentenced to 5 years for reckless DUI that ended in manslaughter.
That's like the case we just talked about.
Yeah, and he got 15 years of not being able to drive and 5 years in prison, which is absolutely nothing.
Wow.
So he can't drive. Why would she purchase an Audi for him? If they have no plans to murder anyone, what would be the reason of purchasing an Audi? She already has a Mercedes. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make sense. Lucy argues that Oliver told her it was for his flipping car business where he buys cars and ships them to sell in Europe. And she said that he promised to pay her back for it. The prosecutor says Lucy presents as someone with a carefully crafted script, willing to say or make up just about anything to distance herself from every aspect of this plan. Not only was she aware of the plan, she was part of the plan. She was an active participant. The prosecutors state, it is because of Jordan's strength and her courage that you can see the real Lucy and Oliver past all the lies. Perhaps without her surviving, they would have gotten away with it.
That's true.
But she did survive. Jordan states she was in a coma for 3 days. She lost her baby. She has severe nerve damage everywhere. The recovery lasted months of excruciating physical pain where she couldn't even move without someone helping her. Anytime she wanted to sneeze or cough, because it was in her chest. This is dangerous. She can't just sneeze and cough like a normal person. Her mom has to hold a pillow down to hold her body in place. She had fake bones implanted into her chest. She has scars all over her breasts and her stomach. She had to relearn how to walk and even stand. She says, I live every day with anxiety and PTSD. I was so angry. I think the worst part was mourning him. She said she and Tyler were like one person. That's how close they were. And she lost him. She was angry. She says, to hear he suffered in the most gruesome manner makes me shake to my core. She said, yes, he was in the cocaine business, but he wanted out and he's kind. He has an even temper. He was down to earth. He always put his children first. But even then, she said the first day of trial, she was terrified to be in the courtroom with the couple. The last time she saw them, they were hunting her down in the Range Rover. Jordan states, it's crystal clear Lucy was involved. She states, and I really liked Oliver. He was always so nice and caring. Tyler loved Oliver. It was a great friendship. He adored him. We considered them really good friends, and that's really embarrassing. It was all fake. It does seem like Lucy is involved, but I think most netizens are confused on why.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if this matters. But this was an interesting comment that was posted by God knows who, so take this as seriously as you would take a hedgehog with a fedora on. This could be made up out of thin air, pulled out of someone's grass. One comment claims that they personally know Lucy, which anyone can post this on the internet without knowing Lucy. But they write, I knew Lucy for a few years, right before she got with Oliver again. She's rebellious, and these things totally get her excited. She's always had money, but she wanted trouble. It was never about money. She did it because it made her feel good. That's why I distanced myself from her. Lucy's sisters are normal, but she's like a different breed, and has always been. I totally believe she planned this with Oliver. There was another internet rumor that Lucy allegedly, unconfirmed, whispers in the air, could be made up by anybody, but it stated that she would do this thing where she probably had lots of wealthy friends, right? And she would steal their expensive designer goods, but not to use it. She would steal it and then immediately trash it, allegedly. Which is so weird. I don't know if this is true. Would it be for the thrill? Would it be for the power of it? I don't know. Again, not proven to be true at all, but if it were, I think that's the only insight I could have maybe been able to put together. And again, it might not even be true, right? Because I don't know why she would be involved. Now, side note, it does seem like Lucy's character is confusing. Her morality is all over the place. Her attorney just attacks Jordan the entire time. He states Jordan is not a trustworthy witness in court because, well, she has questionable morals. Sir, he essentially goes on to state that with the mask factory that they invested in Europe with Oliver, their whole business model is to price gouge hospitals during the pandemic while people are dying so that they can make a profit. So he's like, do you really trust someone who just cares about money like that? The defense attorney also asks, does that make her a good person? Then he states to Jordan, you let a fairly big drug dealer fly under the radar. That makes you part of the problem. Don't you see that? Jordan would later state, we wanted to have a family and leave that negative stuff behind. Then they tried to discredit Jordan's version of events, stating that while she's truthful, she's unreliable because of the trauma that she faced. Which, yeah, but because of who did she have to face that trauma is the question here. What kind of question is that? Oliver's defense states, despite being there, Jordan cannot describe how Oliver shot Tyler, yet she clearly remembers Oliver telling her to get out of here, Joe. Lucy's attorney states, Jordan has a moral compass so far off it should concern the jury. They keep bringing up the fact that Jordan claims to be a good person, but she was living in luxury off of the cocaine money and how she used to be a dancer, which I don't know, sir, with all due respect. What about your client? What's going on there? I don't think we can have a morality competition with anyone here. The state argues Jordan has been an open book and a consistent witness. She may have helped Tyler live off-grid and benefited from his work, but no matter what you think of her lifestyle, it does not diminish her credibility. Jordan states throughout this trial, the legal teams have made Tyler out to be a scary monster, but you guys are the monsters. Side note, it's said that during the whole trial, Lucy would look over her shoulder and smirk at Jordan the whole time. Yeah.
Dang.
I don't know if that's true, but it's out there.
Do you know if the mom and the family was there, present?
Yes, but they never went up onto the stand. The mom showed up in a fur coat and designer bags.
Wow.
Yeah. She does look kind of scary. I don't know. If Insang, Korean first impression, she looks intense. Yeah. Everybody's family showed up. Yeah. Tyler's family, Jordan's family, everybody was there. The jury takes less than an hour to deliberate. They were found guilty. People actually started cheering in the courtroom when the verdict was read. I think nobody likes entitled, spoiled people slut-shaming and shaming others when they're literally on trial for murder. I mean, the whole thing is frustrating. In Canada, a murder verdict is automatic life in prison with 25 years served before parole eligibility. And Canada is actually pretty good about releasing people on parole. So it doesn't seem like they're going to be there for life. The judge looked at the two defendants and said, it was an outright execution. It is difficult to imagine a more calculated and planned murder than what was conducted.
Do we know Lucy's reaction in that moment, or?
She just looked kind of stoic-faced and a little upset. The best part was when Lucy was being dragged back in by the authorities because she's going to prison. Jordan said, "Bye, Lucy." And Jordan says because of how intense her trauma is, she is terrified of cars and loud noises. She said she was driving one time and she felt this insane PTSD anxiety where she felt like Oliver and Lucy were driving, chasing her, and she got into a car accident. For the first year of recovery, the only way she could fall asleep was to drink alcohol. And she looked at the couple when she gave her victim impact statement and she said, the honest to God truth is, I'm not angry at both of you, nor do I want to avenge you, which would be a normal thought for a woman who has had a child and boyfriend taken from her, as well as a lifetime of PTSD and anxiety. You have both inflicted on me. What I actually feel is sorry for you. I feel sorry that you threw away your lives for a lousy $470,000. It's pathetic. I remember exactly what you did to me, how you preyed on me and Tyler for weeks. My scars are a daily reminder that I survived what was meant to destroy me. My hope is that your lives will be nothing but a cold jail cell with the same jail food, and the worst part of all will be you alone with your own ugly thoughts. You will have to face your own evil self every day. But my life doesn't end here. It's just getting started. Yeah. During the trial, forensic pathologists stated that Tyler did not quickly pass. They say his wounds would have taken anywhere between 2 minutes to 2 hours. The judge stated he was left wounded and was alive possibly for up to a few hours after being shot, with no aid, no assistance being called on by the two offenders. Tyler's mom has stated, we've gone through a devastating time. We've lost a grandbaby through it, as well as our son. Tyler was a phenomenal father and a talented entrepreneur and someone who was continuously driven for excellence, just very hardworking. They said it was hard to listen to him being labeled as this dangerous criminal when he can't even be here to defend himself. For the past 3 years, Tyler's dad has been trying to get justice, and he's been wearing his son's shoes every day for 3 years. And now that the verdict has been reached, he says that he will put the shoes back in the box because it was the closure he needed. And Lucy and Oliver are now appealing their convictions. And Jordan is suing Lucy in civil court as well as Oliver. So that is where the case is right now. What are your thoughts? I mean, why do you think Lucy was even part of this? It doesn't make sense. I just don't understand the psyche behind it. It doesn't even seem like her mom was going to cut her off. Mm-hmm. I think her mom has a lot of pressure that she puts on her children, but I think the children play the part well. I think Lucy played the part well, and I think as long as she kept playing the part, I don't think her mom had any plans to cut her off. Because I don't think that would have even looked good for the family, which it seems like her mom cares a lot about. I mean, I don't know them personally, but just from the few interviews I've watched of her. Mm-hmm. It's just weird. What are your thoughts? Why would she get involved? Let me know in the comments and stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.